चाओ चाओ कैसे हो
Ciao.
सब लोग चाओ चाओ यूरोपियन नाइट्स आर बैक अजय भाई और obviously we are into the playoff phase of all European competitions, obviously the Champions League, the Europa League and the Conference League, and obviously we'll get into all of that. आज का स्ट्रीम का पर्पस यही है कि हम बात करेंगे obviously Champions League playoffs के बारे में पहले, then the Europa League and the Conference League. Of course, Ajay bhai is obviously all relaxed because Roma top 8 में आ गई. How are you doing before all of that? How are you doing? How's everything going?
Long time no see, Param. uh, यार weekend का result was, I would say, quite interesting. Roma looked in good in some patches, but after Napoli got the equalizer, it looked like they would score the winner. So all in all, I think still we go next week, like in fourth place. Tough games coming up. Cremonese है उसके बाद में, then we have UA at home, so that is going to be a proper head-to-head clash. But overall, things are relaxed in terms of the European angle, like you said. टॉप 8 में क्वालिफाई करना जस्ट बाय द स्किन ऑफ द टीथ, राइट? एकदम मतलब bare minimum किया रोमा ने and 8th finish किए, but that was the goal. Avoid those two extra games, because Param, last season we played those two extra games against Porto,
Yeah,
if you remember, and eventually it does have an impact. I think स्वयं ने एकदम बढ़िया एक point लिया है कि the physicality that's there in the Premier League clubs, it's not there in Serie A anymore. I don't think so any of our clubs have that kind of strength and stamina to sustain like 3 games in a week. That's the harsh reality and truth. Neither do we have the depth, like we keep on saying Arsenal have 2 teams, right? Koi bhi Serie A team hai, they don't have this much of depth. So all in all, let's see, very very crucial week, Param, for Italian Serie A clubs. Calcio overall very very crucial that we have all the 3 clubs progress into the next round.
agreed, agreed. See, we'll get into the why of it, क्या physicality, क्या हमें लगता है कौन कितने फार जा सकते हैं, वो सब आज ही डिस्कस करेंगे. But nice to have obviously अभिजय. आज मेरा बर्थडे है. Is this true though? Because are you lying or is this true? I mean, if anybody knows him in the comments, उसका सच्ची में बर्थडे है, वो बता दो
If
हमें.
it's a lie, then Arsenal will bottle the Premier League.
Bottle
If
the
it's a truth,
quadruple altogether.
yeah, if it's a truth, then they win the quadruple.
Yeah. Siddhant is here. Nice to have you. Calcio Genoa is here. Swayam is also here. We'll get to your point. यार ये फिर से इसका चालू हो गया. If
Calcio Genoa
Fiorentina,
को मुझे एक point बोलना है. Go and find Kush, because he also supports Genoa. Apart from Liverpool, he supports. He was there in our streams last season. This
okay,
season
okay,
he's not been there. There are a few Genoa fans. Might
yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
brand
And
together.
obviously that other and Krish, I think, right? Krish,
Yeah, no, not Kush. Sorry, Krish.
Krish,
Sorry,
correct,
sorry.
correct.
Krish.
Fiorentina played Dodo played against Inter today. अरे यार ये बहुत गंदा जोक है ये भी. Mir says hi. Mir, nice to have you again. 9 people watching, and I'm sure more will join. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the stream. Please subscribe to the channel. Watch our content. हम लोग रोज content post करे जा रहे हैं और आएगा obviously. पर आज again Ashwin is here as well. Zidane Linsky lovers. Nice to have you as well. बट वील ऑब्वियसली जैसे मैंने बोला चैंपियंस लीग सबके बारे में बात करेंगे आज 11 बजे 11 बजे राइट, नॉट 11:15. 11 बजे आपका है गैलेटासराय वर्सेस यूवेंटस. हम उससे स्टार्ट करेंगे. वील टॉक अबाउट एटलांटा डॉर्टमंड, वील टॉक अबाउट बोडो ग्लिम्ट वर्सेस इंटर and move into the Europa League and Conference League. So please do like, share, and subscribe, and let's continue the road to 3K subs. But Ajay bhai, start करते हैं. Let's start with Galatasaray versus Juventus. Obviously playoffs में तीनों इटालियन क्लब्स है. पहली बात ये मेरा ऑब्वियसली मतलब दिस सीजन हैज नॉट बीन ग्रेट फॉर इटालियन क्लब्स ओवरऑल. वैसे अगर देखा जाए ऑब्वियसली यू कैन से रोमा इन द यूरोपा लीग आर एन एक्सेप्शन इन दैट सेंस, बट या अदर देन दैट चैंपियंस लीग में परफॉर्मेंस बेटर हो सकती थी. यूरोपा लीग में फ्रॉम बोलोनिया यू कैन से बेटर हो सकता था ऑब्वियसली. even from Fiorentina, despite their struggles, I guess it's justifiable, but you can still say obviously they could also have done somewhat better. But let's
100%.
focus on Gala Juve. This
Yeah, let's.
match ये हो चुका है पहले obviously ages ago 2013 में that famous infamous game, however you want to look at it, obviously when the stadium was packed with snow and Schneider and Drogba obviously scored those iconic goals and knocked UA out.
Don't forget that the pitch was like a potato field in that game.
I know exactly the snow played a role and whatnot, but Conte obviously Conte was the coach. And any memories of that game you want to share? Any specific, anything specific?
Man. I mean, क्या बोलूं यार, with Conte, I think that is, if you had to pinpoint his lack of success in Europe, I think this fixture comes to mind. This was the start of all, and of course, season. He finishing 30th with the champions of Italy is just another thing. But yeah, I think UA got knocked out with away goals, and what a player. I mean, at that time.
आपका थोड़ा ऑडियो का कुछ तो ये हो रहा है, मफल हो रहा है.
अच्छा, नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ
नाउ
कि
इट्स बेटर.
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि this was a tough game to watch, and Galatasaray just like edging on away goals. Overall, it was a very highly physical clash from what I remember. काफी physicality था in both these teams, and yeah, I mean, obviously you want Italian teams to go as far as possible, and yeah, Conte at UA, man. I mean, his European record in general, absolutely terrible.
Hmm. I remember this game very well because obviously you look ड्रॉगबा स्नाइडर ऑब्वियसली वो नाम से आपको रेप्यूटेबल नेम्स याद आएंगे बट फॉर मी लाइक देयर वाज सम क्लासिक नेम्स इन दैट गाला टीम लाइक सेल्चुक इनान. I remember this guy very well, very good player honestly. Selçuk Inan,
Yeah,
you obviously Fernando Muslera, that pillar in that goal,
yeah,
Jeffrey Bruma, एंड आई जस्ट एल्बर्ट रियरा जो ऑब्वियसली अभी एंट्राइक फ्रैंकफर्ट का कोच बना है was
coach. Yeah.
he just became the Eintracht. He's a good coach by the way. He was the left back and even in that US side just that midfield which we spoke of so highly, Pogba, Pirlo, Vidal,
Yeah,
obviously वो तो 2-2 ड्रॉ था फिर भी ड्रॉगबा एंड बुलुट. I remember that बुलुट गोल एंड क्वालियरेला how close they came. But that second leg जैसे आपने बोला वो जो स्नो हुआ ये हुआ but iconic still like in terms of like just the the events of the game how it unfolded
yeah,
very iconic because obviously Wesley Sneijder scored the winner assisted by Drogba. That was like and obviously who was coaching Galatasaray like Roberto Mancini. It was just
yeah.
combination Burak Yilmaz, Felipe Melo, obviously Ebue, and it just those. And as you said, the beautiful days when away goals existed, like
Yeah.
but coming back to the point, obviously this is the first time ever since then these two teams will be meeting in a proper competitive match. Again, just to show you before we get into the preview, the playoff field, right? Dortmund Atalanta ka winner will play Arsenal or Bayern, one of these two teams. You have Benfica, Real Madrid, who will play Sporting or Man City. Monaco, all French clash. Monaco, PSG will play Barca, Chelsea. Gala, UA will play Liverpool or Spurs. Obviously, Leverkusen, Olympiacos can also play Bayern or Arsenal or Inter. Obviously, will play take on Bodo Glimt will play Man City or Sporting, and obviously Karabakh or Newcastle will obviously play Chelsea or Barca and Club Brugge, and Atletico would also face Spurs and Liverpool. So starting with this game, अजय भाई क्या फीलिंग क्या लग रही है बिकॉज देर इज अ लॉट ऑफ ऑब्वियसली बोथ टीम्स अगर आप देखो वैसे both these teams want to do well in Europe because UA of late from an Italian perspective have fallen short. Yes, we know this, but Galatasaray अगर आप देखो we know that Turkish clubs have somehow get this money somehow as in how they get their money to spend on big players. They spend big wages. They shore up their squad, but in Europe they always underperform. Whether it's
Yeah,
Galatasaray, whether
yeah.
it's Fenerbahce,
Where
whether
are
it's
where are they in the league right now? Turkish Super League. Which position are they in?
Galar first,
Oh, the top
Galar
of the table.
first. But yeah. So see, this is the Turkish Super League race. It's 3 points between Gala, Fener, and then Trabzonspor are way behind. Besiktas are obviously not having their greatest days, but yeah. Point is, ये जो भी clubs होते हैं, right? ये mostly चैंपियंस लीग हो यूरोपा लीग हो तीनों में ये तीनों या फिर दो तीनों कंपटीशन कॉन्फ्रेंस भी तीनों में अंडर परफॉर्म करते हैं. मैं गैला से स्टार्ट करता हूं. ऑब्वियसली वी आर ओनली गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट गैला टुडे बट क्या क्या लग रहा है आपको ये जस्ट वाइब हेडिंग इनटू द मैच.
Right, this is it. It looks like there's already so many narratives at play. You have Victor Osimhen, you have Icardi on the bench, or Serie A connection to hai. But overall, you see, they have Lucas Torreira, you have Leroy Sané, Ilkay Gundogan. Like you mentioned, naam to hai, definitely hai. But are they in their primes of their career? I don't know. Maybe apart from Osimhen, I think the other names are on the decline. Like they're in the twilight of their respective careers. So UA have now obviously the whatever happened in the league in the Derby d'Italia, they will be kind of like charged up. Luciano Spalletti does well in these particular rounds in Europe. He's got a good record in terms of progressing, to the quarters at least. But having said that, the onus will be on UA. UA के ऊपर pressure रहेगा to go away to Turkey, which obviously will be absolutely electric. You know how the Gala fans are; they bring the atmosphere at their home games. "Welcome to Hell" is their typical, banner that they will always display. So UA have their task cut out, Param. They started playing well after Spalletti came in, ironically. Until then, they were also looking a bit lost in the early stages of the Champions League. Lots to prove, and one of the most difficult arenas that one can go and play an away game, really. So let's see what UA are really made of on this particular European night.
Yeah, yeah, agreed, agreed. And लुक अगर हम यूए पे तो आएंगे ही थोड़ा इटालियन पर्सपेक्टिव अगर आप गैला का स्क्वाड देखो इट इज इट्स नॉट अ बैड टीम लुक मेरा माय इशू विद दीस टर्किश क्लब्स हैज मेनली बीन कि वो लोग ऑब्वियसली जो इन्वेस्टमेंट का तरीका ढूंढते हैं वो ढूंढते इट्स शेडी व्हाटएवर दे हैव देयर ओन ways to get help from the government, the backing of any political leader as well, especially Galatasaray. But they do like again. Look, this squad is not bad. You have a Victor Osimhen, you signed him, and you managed to convince him to stay back because you want European glory. आज Osimhen का interview था. Obviously, he took some shots at Napoli. You can say rightly so because of what they did to him with the social media post. You remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He said that he wouldn't have had any issues moving to UAE. ये भी उसने बोला. और उसने बोला कि I came back to Galatasaray because he saw the love of the fans, which is true. They made him feel special. एक पैसा तो है ही. Look, Galatasaray pay him a lot of wages. Whether you believe it or not, they pay him very highly. Secondly, they made him feel very special, almost like a king, which they did with Icardi, which they do with any big name player. To be fair,
yeah,
then
yeah,
you have again, look, it's not a bad team. Bad team. You have look, Lucas Torreira is not the same, but he's a decent player. Leroy Sané has not been like his Man City years, wala, but again, he's an all right player. He's a decent player for today's level.
mm,
Gundogan again, obviously, physical decline, but again, these are decent players with some know-how. Now, you look at the backline. Mera, what I was coming to this defense of these Turkish clubs again, a big problem. Davinson Sanchez, Abdul Karim Bardakci, average players. I'll be very honest with you. Ismail Jacobs, Roland Shalai, like he's not. He to used to be a striker. He's been
yeah,
converted to a right back. Like he used to be a striker. That's an insane transformation, by the way. So
mm,
look again. If you see the overall squad, also it's all right. But again, if you see Ajay, they've had like they've beaten Liverpool. They had an all right campaign. So my point is now, my vibe, like what I get this feeling again. This gives me is like of a very nervous energy game. I can at least feel the chaos from outside itself कि ये गेम में बहुत tense moments होंगे end to end शायद ना हो but like it'll come down to you taking your chances or you make
yeah,
capitalizing on that
yeah,
key moment.
yeah.
एंड रियली बिकॉज इस गेम में मुझे दिखता है बहुत है वो इट्स यू गो टू रैम्स पार्क अजय आप जानते हो एटमोस्फेयर कैसा होगा आप
बिल्कुल.
अलियंस में भी जाओ गैला के लिए भी आसान नहीं होगा यूए साइड ऑफ थिंग्स अगेन as you said they'll be a bit fired up after the derby d'Italia obviously they'll also be a bit tired because of the energy spent obviously in that game so it remains to be seen because obviously Kenan Yildiz को सब किया था ने sub किया था at a certain period to so that he gets rest for this game. So that is there. And UA we know that they have a bit of a thin bench. Emil Holm got injured in that game, so he's not available. We'll come to the lineups, but again, I this is tough because Gala in the league have been doing what they've been doing, so they have that form. But when it comes to Europe, again, when it comes to Europe, it's Turkish clubs always fall short. Like it's just they
Yeah,
always find a way to mess up. It's just something that happens inevitably, right? So
yeah,
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 let's get into the form. If I again quickly had to show it to you guys, obviously UA coming off like a 3 game winless run. Before that, they only beat Parma. But अगर आप देखो अजय भाई गैला obviously usually गैला जीतती है अपने लीग में right what we discussed
right,
they've only
right,
lost to
right.
Manchester City last they beat Kayserispor Istanbulspor Rizespor and Ayubspor so they are otherwise on a winning run क्या लगता है अजय भाई any like who are the players overall from both teams who you feel people in general watching this tie should look out for from both teams like 2 3 players who you think will kind of make the difference in your opinion.
I think that, see, for UA it's very obvious, right? Keenan Yildiz is the name that will be there. He will be the main man. Onus is on him how he can lead UA. The fans will be looking up, to him. Big stage, European night. I think Yildiz ka ye the stage is set for him to shine, to prove that he is that worthy number 10, and etch his name in the history of UA. So clearly, you have Locatelli also, who had a very good game against Inter. He was
Yeah,
controlling UA's, like a proper conductor, you can say. He was right there. Big game for him as well on a European stage. Overall, I feel that for Gala, I think again the focus will be on their main target man, Victor Osimhen. Obviously, he's got that Napoli past, and during his time in Italy, we had some spicy encounters we saw some spicy encounters between Napoli and UA. तो ये दो तीन नाम है मेरे हिसाब से, बट परम, whoever scores the first goal, it's going to be so crucial. Who scores that first goal will have that advantage, in my
Agreed.
opinion.
Fair, fair. That is a fair take. Um, uh, Look, again, from the UA side of things, if I start, I think McKennie has been in good form. You have to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely, he's making a lot of difference as a utility player. Locatelli looked tired at the end of that game, so let's see. I think Lloyd Kelly ka form generally continue hoga hi because he's been putting in good shifts week in week out.
yeah, yeah,
We discussed this. I think these are a couple of players you can definitely keep an eye out from Galatasaray perspective. If again look, you can't overlook Victor Osimhen. जो भी आपको उसके बारे में लगे, you feel he has a character, whatever it is, but he delivers. He scores. He's still that player. Basically, अगर लोगों को लगता है वो नापोली छोड़ के गैलाटासराय गया तो just because he went to Turkey his level has dropped, you're absolutely mistaken. Uh, Gundogan, obviously, again, there has been a decline because aging process simple, but he has shown that know-how in most of these games. Now, one thing I want to say is Okan Buruk is a decent coach. He loves to play his mind games, whether it's the transfer market, whether it's on the pitch. He's a very animated coach. He's gotten into arguments with Mourinho as well, and Mourinho was
hmm,
coaching Fener. So, hey, yaar, matlab it's just that with me, it's the squad building with these Turkish clubs. I just am not a fan of it. Like generally overall, oh look, they have the money to kind of make a complete squad, but they always try to go after the star names in a way. Like look,
yeah,
Icardi is there. Like you know that if you feel Icardi and Osimhen in the same team, it's a bit difficult because both usually don't really play out of the box. So it's
yeah,
both are like almost finishers, and especially
yeah,
Icardi more so than Osimhen. So the thing is they have those resources to build a complete squad, but they just don't take that final step. That is my main issue. Now we'll come to the predicted lineups and score predictions, but again I feel again you have to definitely look out for Osimhen. Keep an eye out for Roland Shalai because actually while I said कि उसका obviously पूरा convert किया striker से, he's played right winger, he's played wing back, he's played a right back as well, he's even played in central midfield. So he's actually done a decent job as a utility player. He's had a few decent games, and he's been obviously on the scene for a while, even for Hungary and all these clubs. So definitely, and then very again, he's very good on set pieces, Ajay bhai, defending and attacking. Actually, he's very useful on set pieces. So two players I would say definitely to keep an eye on. With that being said, Ajay bhai, UAK from an Italian perspective, UAK UAK 11 में what do you think? Do you think they should make any changes? Do you think obviously it's a thin bench overall? Do you think the same 11 has to start, or do you think something different has to happen?
I think the same level should start because they're finding rhythm. They're kind of like gelling together under Spalletti. Spalletti has found his best 11. I said this on the Inter UV का जो अपन ने preview किया उसमें भी मैंने बोला कि finally it looks like Spalletti has found his ideal 11. So continue with that. Absolutely continue with that. And continuity is the key. So I think यही 11 होना चाहिए. And then like you mentioned, there are options from the bench that whatever he can bring on the likes of Openda, if need be once again. But Param, I see Spalletti just going for that, I would say, early goal and then kind of manage the game. I totally see Spalletti managing this game in that fashion.
Fair, fair, fair. I don't think Sky Sport has the Champions League predicted lineups. I need to check because I wanted to see if they have anything for all the games or at least two of the games, if not wrong. I don't think they have anything yet, so maybe we can check that later. But yeah, I think see, uh, it's tough here because US bench is indeed a bit thin. Um, I think Spalletti. What I feel is he will start the same 11. I think there is no doubt about that. What I feel maybe what you can make a tweak if I were to just show it for the audience their bench, because I think what you can do here is you can definitely take a bit of a risk and start someone like Kostic. Like obviously, physically the guy is not the same, but I feel he's put in like all right shifts over the last few weeks, and you can maybe take a bit of a gamble over there because again like वो last game से थोड़े gassed out लगा UA perspective से मुझे. And yeah, I think maybe he can start. But other than that, you can't really make major changes because your bench is already very very thin. So
Fair.
let's see. But what's your prediction? Let's come to the prediction, Ajay bhai. क्या लगता है आपको? क्या prediction होगा?
I think I'll go for a draw in this one all. Or if I had to pick a winner, I think I'd go for a UA win.
Fair, fair, fair. मुझे लग रहा है actually let's just predict over two legs, like because you never know before the second leg if we might be able to swing
I,
or
I
not.
I I predict UA to go through, even if
Hmm.
they get like a draw in Turkey. I feel that at home UA will beat Galatasaray.
Fair, fair. Yeah, I think maybe today, tonight, or today is a draw, and then eventually over the two legs, I think UA go through because yeah, I just feel UA can manage this. Plus, again, I do not as a I never trust Turkish clubs personally. मैं तो नहीं करता trust by like they always find a way. They just always find a way to kind of mess it up. What do you guys think? Like, let us know your predictions in the comments below with the team names. Like, Calcio Jena already gave it Gala 1-1, gave it as Gala 1-1 UA. Uh, then we have Devraj who says UA 3-0 Gala. Uh, RSS 2-0 UA. 1-1 draw says Phantom for the first leg. 3-1 says UA on aggregate Siddhant, which is yeah, which is fair. I think they'll go through over two legs regardless of whatever happens in the first one. We'll start with Dortmund Atalanta once Ajay Bhai is back. Let me just take another the other comments until then. McKinney's father is my idol. The guy is crazy man. Like he problem is ये बंदा कुछ भी बोलता है अगर आप उसका एक्स अकाउंट चेक करो he doesn't shy away from insulting McKinney's teammates which is just insane like एक मैन ऑफ द एक मैच में गिल्डिस को मैन ऑफ द मैच मिला सो ही वाज सो सॉल्टी ओवर इट इज लाइक मेरे बेटे को मिलना चाहिए था लाइक भाई ये सब तुम्हारे बेटे के लिए तुम्हें इतना डिफिकल्ट पोजीशन क्रिएट करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है मतलब इट्स जस्ट सो अननेसेसरी like you know it's at the end of the day you don't need all this yeah so Ajay bhai we took a few predictions watch along nahi hoga yaar we
भाई
have
कल
we'll be
कल
watching
तेरा तू तो ऑफिस जा रहे पर मेरा भी कल काम है. प्रॉब्लम
hmm.
वही है, वॉच लॉन्ग करने के बाद में ना 3:30-4 बजे तक फिर नींद आता नहीं है.
Yeah,
फिर
we'll be
वॉच
doing it for the games that make sense time wise यार गेम देख के करना पड़ता है चाहे वो सेरिया हो कोपा इटालिया हो चाहे वो लकीली अभी तो कोपा इटालिया डजोन पे भी आता है अगर आपके पास है बट यू गेट द पॉइंट राइट चाहे
क्या
वो
बात
यूरोपियन
करे, कोपट डजॉन में आ रहा है.
yeah it's there actually like I checked it's there like it was there the live match was at least there so content UCL वो तो भाई वो तो रहने ही दो मतलब वो बंदा एक सेमीफाइनल पहुंचा वो एटलीस्ट सुपर कोपा का एट अरे भाई मैच का डिस्कशन भी नहीं किया बट एटलीस्ट यू विन योर प्रेडिक्शन 3-2 अच्छा भाई लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट गेम we obviously have Atalanta Dortmund uh, I was on this Bundesliga, the other show, obviously the Total Football Show, a new podcast that has been started by some Bundesliga enthusiasts, Bayern fans. So my point is, there I predicted a very close game. Over two legs, I've predicted Atalanta to go through, but not really an easy task, which we'll get into. Let's talk about it. This is tough Bajaj, because Atalanta अपने shaky start के बाद finally वापस आ गई है फॉर्म में. Like those first months were awful. Like they were not prime Atalanta. And I think हमने predict किया था कि Atalanta का dip तो होगा. Like they'll not be the same under Ivan Juric or in general post Gasperini because 9 साल के बाद वो बंदा छोड़ के गया. But
या
Palladino obviously is the right hire and he's obviously set or he's at least rejuvenated them more than anything. There is nothing I don't want to say yet कि चीजें better हो गई है गैस्पेरिनी एरा से because वो गलत होगा but he's rejuvenated Atalanta and Dortmund I just watched them this past weekend against Mainz they demolished Mainz and Dortmund again we'll get to the predicted lineups and well but both teams have key absentees so Atalanta will be missing Raspadori and Charles de Ketelara. Raspadori is out for like 2-3 weeks. Charles de Ketelara is out for a month or two, and Dortmund don't have Schlotterbeck. He's going to miss, and even Sule. So Schlotterbeck he scored like he's been good from set pieces and he's been in great form obviously. So he's out as well. We'll come to all that, but क्या लग रहा है क्या vibe लग रहा है इस game का because this is end to end like this is very close in my opinion at least.
I feel as well. I think it'll be both the teams will attack. I think from the front foot. I don't see this being a cagey game, and I feel Atlanta, whatever said and done in Europe, they were good. Like they were in a top 6 position. They beat Chelsea. They could have easily qualified for. Yeah, ये game शायद होता ही नहीं था. आईडी टॉप 8 में फिनिश करना चाहिए था अटलांटा को. The start that they had.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, here we are. But Param, वही है कि यार, can Atlanta now, because the way that they play, right? It's high intensity, it is high demand, and Dortmund also attack in that way, right? So for me, I really feel that if they expend a lot of energy in this fixture, how will they do in Serie A? And then a week later they have the return leg. But but having said that, I think if I had to pick someone as a favorite, I think it'll be Atlanta just by 51%. Like it's going to be so close, but I think Atlanta are slight favorites in this game.
Fair, we'll come to predictions again. But अगर मैं फॉर्म की बात करूं, देखो अगर अगेन Atalanta just beat Lazio. Ederson was fantastic one against. They beat Cremonese. They've beaten Juve in the Coppa Italia, held by Como. Como created a lot of chances. So I will use that game as a reference for this one. But again, they lost to Union Saint
But there were 10
Gilwa
men
in
na, in
the.
that game.
Sorry.
There were 10 men in that game, no, in Como.
Yeah, but they were, but again, like they generally let a lot of chances created were create against them very easily. Dortmund on the other hand, उनका एक विनिंग रन रहा है. माइंस पर है, जैसे मैंने बोला, वुल्सबर्ग जो स्ट्रगल कर रही है बुंडेसलीगा में. They also do leak a lot. So I will come to a bit of Dortmund's issues. Union Berlin, they played us obviously, and वो game में तो Guirassi had only one clear cut chance. Other than that, Inter managed that game very well. And again, we had rotated in that game, and we still won kind of in a way comfortably in terms of how we managed it. But Ajay, coming to Atalanta, what I wanted to say is if I come to this Como game, right, and why do I use this as a reference? I know they had a red card to Ahanor early on. I get it. But somewhere I was a bit like wary about how many chances they let in because even with 10 men, I expect like Atalanta ना जब वो एक team है जिसके पास वो industrious players है to kind of manage, even with 10 men. Like you, that pairing of Ederson and Martin de Roon works tirelessly. Look,
Yeah.
and that way, look again, your point is more than valid. वो 10 man का factor you can't discount. But I thought maybe they would generally manage it well. Even if I leave that game aside, आई थिंक जैसे आपने बोला एटलांटा का ये सीजन थोड़ा चीज अलग है कि वो लोग ना एकदम फुल इंटेंसिटी नहीं खेलते. With Palladino, you have that controlled press which he is known for, like a mid block
Yeah.
almost, but maybe
Yeah.
leaning towards the high line. So they manage moments. It's not your Gasperini. The principles of
Yeah.
Gasperini are there, but it's a
Of
bit
course.
mixed. Now, who do you keep an eye out from Atalanta side of things? For me, first name that Ederson to hey, Ederson is a machine. He's in fantastic form. There's a reason he's linked with Atletico Madrid. Obviously, at the end of the season, he'll mostly leave, scoring goals, assisting, complete, very complete, rightly so. But Davide Zappacosta, my God, this guy is running back the years यार. मतलब वो
Ageless, man. Ageless.
yeah. And लोग बोलेंगे अरे सेरिया गेम्स में करता है. No, he does it in the Champions League as well. If you actually watch these games and he does it in the Champions League. He's just a machine. Like वो direct runs करेगा, he'll make those problems. What do you think, Ajay, for you, if I were to look at this Atalanta 11 without Charles de Ketelaere or Rashford Ori, do you think if this is the 11, do you think are you fine with that, or do you think they should play someone like a Kurstovic up top, or maybe even a Isaac Hein in that back line, or Pasalic should start? What do you think?
Look, I think Honest Arnor has been one of the best
Yeah.
young players across Europe. The maturity that he shows for a 17-year-old is mind-boggling.
Hmm.
So once again, defensive line I think will remain in this fashion itself. I don't see Palladino changing वहाँ पे. Attack में यार, I think Skamaka starts over Krstovic any day. And Skamaka का भी big game experience है, वो यूरोप में गोल मारता है.
Hmm.
So I think Skamaka automatically is a starter and Krstovic is an option for the bench. And yeah, I mean you can play Pasalic in place of Samardzic, but I still feel that I think ये जो अभी इनका 11 है of Charles de Ketelaere is a huge miss. But I feel that this is quite a decent attack that they can, they can expect some firepower in Dortmund, in my opinion. Watch out for my boy Nikola Zalewski, scored a goal against Lazio, celebrated in front of the Kurva soon. So good to see him getting that form back, like in terms of attacking contributions. But yeah, all in all, I think for Atlanta, uh, it's really I would say that जो इनके पास में जो उनका playing style है, they should just stick to their philosophy. I really feel that they shouldn't go in a shell. I feel that they should stick to what they do best, and I think they can really come up with with a surprise result because a lot of folks I read Param are going for a Dortmund win over here. At least online में काफी सारे जो predictions है, they're like Dortmund will go through. तो उनको तो एक बड़ा surprise आएगा if Atlanta play the way that we know how Atlanta can play.
Yeah, like coming fair. That's a fair point. We'll come to predictions again. I was on the show yesterday and we were talking about Dortmund. Now with Dortmund, I think where Atalanta can beat them and have a clear advantage midfield में लोग बोलेंगे अरे तुम्हारे पास नमेचा है Sabitzer is by the way just coming back from an injury so I don't think he'll start then that means शायद Job Bellingham start करें Job Bellingham has is average or actually below average. He's that bad. उसके नाम में Bellingham हो that doesn't make him good. You watch him, you know he's actually a very below average player, and he just, I think physically, if the midfield battle, if Namecha and Bellingham start, then Derun and Ederson, without a doubt, have to impose themselves. वो अगर नहीं कर पाए तो then I will be shocked, because Derun and Ederson complement each other perfectly. Ederson
Yeah,
he'll run up and down, but he'll also have that technical ability. Derun does necessarily obviously aging a bit but still works tirelessly so that
yeah,
is where I feel Atalanta have to capitalize. Julian Brandt बहुत on and off player है बहुत ज्यादा again you watch him closely very off and off someday he's that kind of a player जो मैंने कल ही बोला उस शो पे कि you in a way you want him on your team but it's like you have these mixed feelings कि भाई ये कर क्या रहा है मेरे टीम में मतलब ये कभी कभी अच्छा खेलता है कभी कभी 7 on 10 डालता है कभी कभी रैंडमली 8 on 10 डालेगा और कभी तो सीधा 4 on 10 डाल देगा इज दैट काइंड ऑफ अ प्लेयर.
yeah, yeah.
Virasi is fantastic. Like again, there's no doubt about that. But he also weirdly misses like a simple chance or two. And one thing I want to say about Dortmund, their attack has been a bit more potent in the Champions League than in the Bundesliga. Now, what's the difference here? Nico Kovac now defense first approach खेलता है Bundesliga में because Nico Kovac is not known to play this attacking brand of
Yeah.
game generally. So he plays like a defense first game, but in the Champions League he's been a bit more proactive even if they've lost. And that is one of the reasons they've lost one of few of the games. They try to be a bit more proactive. Do they have a necessarily creative outlet? No, they'll rely heavily on transition. Like Karim Adeyemi, very very transitional oriented players, but they're not. They don't have that end product. Like that's the problem. But again, Ryerson, keep an eye out, man. He got 4 assists in the last game. Those
Yeah.
4 goals they scored against Mainz, he got 4 assists by himself. So he's their main creative outlet. And Dortmund actually, as an Azzurri fan, Ajay bhai, you will be happy. They gave debuts to 3 Italians and Reggiani is one of them. Very 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 exciting talent. Filippo Mane is also there. So you never know. You might get to see one of these against Atalanta. But look, I agree with you. Atalanta have to stick to their guns. But again, if Dortmund kind of get their transitions right, I think they can cause problem for that Atalanta backline. Like we've seen look, you saw the Athletic Club game where Atalanta completely crumbled. So
A very shocking defeat though.
ये some awful defending about how they even gave the if you go watch the goals इतने खराब goals थे वो conceded so that's where my issue is like transitions में Dortmund ना वो quality ना हो but वो quickly ball का turnover करने में वो लोग effective है that's where they need to be careful definitely keep an eye out on Julian Ryerson Guirassy definitely and from Atalanta honest Arnor is a fantastic talent there as you said like he's just so good and in I think in 6 days he's going to be eligible to represent Italy and get his work permit and visa. So I mean again for Azzurri fans that can be good news. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely something to keep an eye on. Over.
Chintan is in the house.
Yeah, Chidarbhai is in the house.
व्हाट्सअप मैन हमारा क्या लेना देना चैंपियंस लीग से यूरोपियन फुटबॉल से हमारा कुछ लेना देना but yeah like before like how Param used to keep dropping bombs saying that the only team to win a treble यार मैं भी बॉम्ब डालना सकता हूँ है नहीं खेल नहीं रहे लेकिन second most successful club in the world and in Europe and still the most trophies as an Italian club but yeah I think मेरे लिए तो ये फेवरेट गेम है by the way मैं यही देखने वाला हूँ ये सही गेम फॉर अ न्यूट्रल आल्सो दिस शुड बी द गेम वो स्लॉटरबैक नहीं है ना
No, he's out. He's injured.
so they not स्लॉटरबैक and they not Sule also
Yeah, Sule has been here. Even he's not there. Even he's
not that he's been good also for them I don't think he's been good also for them
Yeah, Sule is I mean he's not been that great for a while. So yeah, I mean not a but again obviously considering the options they have, you would like to have him also. Like there is talk कि Emre Can शायद खेले defense में, which is again that's not a solution. That's been a terrible idea which they've implemented for years. So क्या पता देखते हैं. But क्या predictions लग रहा है guys? क्या अजय भाई आपसे स्टार्ट करता हूँ. आप लोग कमेंट्स में भी बताओ क्या predictions लग रहे हैं इसके. क्या लगता है आपको?
Dortmund 2, Atlanta 2. But I think
Hmm.
Atlanta go through in the second leg.
हाँ, क्या बोलते हो चिंतन भाई?
Yeah, I think Atlanta might end up losing this game, but I have a feeling Atlanta will go through as a tie. Like I feel Atlanta have got Dortmund. यार बहुत ही funny. यार Dortmund उल्टा लग रही है, लीग में थोड़ी ज्यादा strong लग रही है. मतलब start was very terrible. They're picking up form right now. It is kind of a difficult game to call, but I think Atlanta will go through. मुझे लग रहा है Atlanta should make it. But yeah, I would take a draw today also. I know there are no away goals, so but I'll take as an Atlanta man. But yeah, last two games in the Champions League for Atlanta, oh god, they should have been in top 8. You cannot lose such games, yeah. Athletic Club ka to, oh, that is unforgivable. Very
Hmm.
terrible collapse. Yeah, that game kind of gives me the fear that Dortmund can go through because yeah, if Athletic Club had not been that great in the competition, of course, but बहुत ही terrible था. So I'll go for an Atlanta going through, but I think Dortmund might win the game today.
Fair.
Yeah, look, last time obviously these two teams faced was in a Europa League where Gasperini was there, and obviously all the way back when Andrei Schurrle was still playing before he retired early from his career. Uh,
Also, you had the
yeah,
legend of Sir Brian Cristante.
yeah, Peter Stoger versus Gasperini, like two characters, one from Germany, one from Italy, and obviously Dortmund went through in that. Yeah, Michi Batshuayi was still playing for Dortmund. Insane difference. Look at
Wow.
this. Yeah, Pop. Ilicic
Batshuayi,
was there.
Batman.
Yeah, Caldara was also there at Atalanta. Spinazzola. My God, look at PBA. Chintan obviously
Papu
Pulisic.
Gomez, Ilicic.
Yeah, Pulisic was there. Weigel was there. My God. Yeah, what a difference.
But
What a
why this is
difference.
not a bad, this is a good, decent Dortmund team, yeah?
Hmm. Hmm.
Abhi to
Yeah.
Dortmund has become unrecognizable. Yeah, I don't recognize any of the players in Dortmund anymore.
बस ब्रांड है उधर बस.
Brand,
Yeah.
brand,
Brandt, but Brandt was like joined. I
brand.
think if I'm not wrong, थोड़ा बाद में ना इसके बाद if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
इसके
Choosing
yeah.
बाद
brand.
थोड़ा बाद में आया था वही. But Brandt has been there again. But look at the difference, yeah. Like Socrates, my God, like Lucas Piszczek
Piszczek.
was still playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Piszczek was amazing, yeah.
yeah, Piszczek was a fantastic player. Yeah. But yeah, I think prediction wise, let me just see what people are saying in the comments. To do draw.
चिंतन का गाला यूए में प्रेडिक्शन ले ले.
What do you think about that, Chintan bhai? I have predicted UA to go through over two legs, so has Ajay bhai. क्या
Yeah,
बोलते
I
हो?
think they might go through a two legs, but you can't lose to this Galatasaray right now, man. It'll be criminal if Juventus loses this game. After the Inter game, they must have lost a lot of stamina. But yeah, I think over two legs, I think UA should go through, man, this game. And UA, मुझे ज़्यादा before the Inter game मुझे ज़्यादा comfortable UA लग रही थी out of all the four. Of course, Inter का तो draw comparatively easier है, but I think UA should go through. Yeah, Bodo Glimt, it's like a banana peel. Param,
Yeah,
but it's a
we'll obviously discuss that. हाँ बोलो.
नहीं पर वही बोला परफेक्ट टेस्ट फॉर स्पेलेटी यार थोड़ा यूरोपियन पेडिग्री टेस्ट करना पड़ेगा इधर बट आई फील ओवरऑल एज ऑन फॉर्म आई थिंक यूएस शुड गो थ्रू यार.
Yeah. I want to see other predictions. Dortmund 2-1, Atalanta says Calcio, Genoa. What else? I think two goals loading for Skamaka. That is bold. Like I think if Skamaka का body language ठीक हो तो ही वो बंदा अच्छा करता है. That's what I said as well. As long as he turns up, he will do anything. He can do anything in the world. Like he can score the most outrageous goal, but he needs to start the game well. Otherwise, yeah. Let's see. First leg draw. Fair. Inter 2-1. इसने तो तीनों predictions दे. UA 1-1. Atalanta 2-1. Atalanta will beat Dortmund. Yeah. So I think I just before we go to Bodo Glimt Atalanta, I think time ho gaya. Let me just pull up the lineups for Gala UA because while we looked at the predicted lineups, अभी तक तो official lineups आ ही गए होंगे. Just one second,
11:15
yeah.
को है ना.
Yeah, exactly. The official lineups are out. One sec. Uh, One sec. I'm just pulling it up. So these are the official lineups. Yep. Let's start with Gala. Ajay bhai will come. Let's start with Gala. जो expected था Ugurcan Chakir, Jakobs, Bardacci, Davinson Sanchez, Roland Shalai, Lucas Torreira, Sara, Osimhen, Noah Lang, and Noah Lang starts by the way. So you have that ex-Napoli connection, Chintan by Napoli, sorry,
Yeah.
Lang and Osimhen, Baris Alper, Yilmaz. But in the on the bench you have Sasha Boy, Wilfried
I
Singbo,
said
Ilkay Gundogan. Look at Look, Icardi, Leroy Sané, Mario Lemina.
Wow.
On the
घर घर
US side,
घर 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 वाले नेम है सब, घर गृहस्थी
yeah,
नाम है सब.
exactly.
It's
But on
so
the
sweet.
US side, Chintan, on the US side, obviously they had a game where obviously it was taxing for them. Like you can say, थोड़ा exhaustion रहा होगा ये वो. Uh, Look at this team. Di Gregorio continues in goal. Cambiaso, Kalulu start. Bremer, Kelly start. That's the same. The entire back line.
Yeah.
Locatelli and Koopmeiners also. Kefren Thuram is back because he
Back.
was injured. Yeah, he was injured. But they've gone for a bold move. Like again, I won't be surprised if he's using McKennie as a false nine. Like I won't be surprised.
Oh, ho, ho,
क्या लगता है आप
ho.
लोग को ये
Noah Lang
अच्छा
also
है?
starts.
Sorry?
Oh, Noah Lang starts for Gala.
Yeah, Noah Lang starts. We will come to that. But Chindan bhai, क्या लगता है UA lineup? Do you think maybe again they could have done something different? Like, look, Openda is not doing that great. Boga को तो time होगा settle होने में. Do you think they could have made it some other tweak, or are you fine with seeing this McKennie Folson experiment if that is what it ends up?
I don't know. McKennie is a very useful player. I know, Param, you are not a big fan of McKennie,
Yeah,
but I think he's a useful player. But yeah, I think he should have gone for a strike. I think sometimes you need that. Yildiz is, of course, expected a lot from Yildiz and Conceição. Yildiz, he's going to cut in, he's going to take his chances. But nahi, yaar, I would have gone for a striker. Openda not doing well, but you still need one. I think you need that focal point. Abhi, यार ये तो shooting in the dark है, चला तो चला, but again I don't know. I would have gone for a striker, yeah. Like you need that.
100%.
but like Ajay bhai, do you agree with Chintan bhai? Because अगर आप which I feel
I
that's a
do.
fair
I
point.
do.
Because look,
I
look,
do.
the bench पे striker का real option Openda है. Like again, Boga is not an out and out striker. David is injured, Vlahovic is injured, Milik is injured. आपके तीन बाकी के स्ट्राइकर सब इंजर्ड है. मतलब दिस द गेम यू लुक एट एंड से चलो मुझे ओपेंडा का कॉन्फिडेंस वापस लाना है. We know Galatasaray's defense is a bit leaky. Turkish defense is almost never keep a clean sheet. Do you think they should have fielded Openda here?
Yeah, I think they should have. I think वो एक focal point जरूरी है. Because I'll tell you why a focal point is necessary is because there is no clear number 10 unless he plays Koopmeiners as a number 10. McKennie, like you mentioned, probably will start as a false 10, but I can also see Yildiz playing in through the middle, and then McKennie going out of the left or out wide. So ये भी हो सकता है कि Spalletti has gone for a very fluid front three, and that just confuses the Gala defense in terms of who can they mark. So I think that's what Spalletti is trying to do. He's just trying to play like a proper, आप बोल सकते हैं ना, एक special card उसने play किया हुआ है just to kind of like have that mental edge over tonight's opponent. So I think that is what he's trying to do. Like I feel that I want to see where Koopmeiners plays on the pitch eventually. I think his role also will be quite important in this UA midfield. I think they're boosted by the return of Kefren Thuram. I think they missed him during a derby d'Italia. But all in all, if I had to start a striker, I would have gone for Openda because, yeah, I mean, it's just worked. That shape has worked for Spalletti. So far, they've been getting the results. So might as well stick to that shape and
Again,
system.
a सबसे important part is if I'm Openda right now, my confidence is shattered now.
मेरा
If
तो
I'm not
कॉन्फिडेंस गया है
starting
ना. मतलब तुम्हारा कोई स्ट्राइकर नहीं है एंड ओपेंडा, एंड तुमने बोला कि नहीं ओपेंडा तू बेंच पे बैठ, मैं मैकेनी को या कीरन यिल्डिज़ को मैं फॉल्स नाइन खिलाऊंगा. मतलब वही ना कि मेरा तो कॉन्फिडेंस गया गटर में.
that is one way to look at it. Actually, you're right in a way. That's fair because हाँ ये McKennie पे इतना ट्रस्ट है कि भाई तुम उसको किधर भी खिला सकते हो. Literally, you can play him at right back, you can play him in midfield where it suits him the most. You can play him at left back or even in attack. So I
But
agree. Like that.
Param, this is what happened with Dobvik and to an extent Santi, right? Jimenez.
Yeah.
मतलब इतना confidence टूट गया उसके बाद तुम लात मार के और गिरा रहे हो. Not needed during in a big European match, yeah. And Param, European games are different than Serie A games. There is more fluidity. So he will get more into the game.
Agreed. I agree with
bad move for me.
I'm just excited to see this Noah Lang Osimhen partnership, which like मतलब योगेश तो definitely tune in करेगा ये देखने को. योगेश तो पॉपकॉर्न लेके बैठेगा भाई. Napoli players against UA. But I think we've covered obviously two games. Let's move on to the third one. Let me just pull it up again. Obviously Ajay, if you Bodo Glimt obviously versus Inter, you have memories of this club. Obviously it's tomorrow. It's not tonight. I mean it's not.
Only good memories at home. Who loses to Bodo at home, yaar? Which club loses to Bodo at home?
I knew you're doing this intentionally because Lazio lost at home, but on penalties.
Technically,
But
technically they didn't lose at home. Yeah, they lost on penalties, but yeah,
yeah, I mean, still, I mean, whatever. But Ajay bhai, first I'll start with you because memories of Bodo उससे तो start
difficult
करना
place
ही
to
है.
go. Yeah, difficult place to go, especially during this time of the year, peak winter, and Bodo only play one way. I mean, that's their philosophy. They really don't care. Very interesting thing I had read that no one is at the club, from the coach to the players to the management, no one has spoken about win or
Winning.
loss. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like losing, winning का उनको फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Just they just want to go and play in one
yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah,
which I
yeah.
find a bit surprising because ऐसा होता नहीं है.
No,
But
it's actually true also. I'll give my 2 cents on that. But yeah,
but nevertheless, it is a tough place to go. And Chintan, तेरे को तो उनका number 10 का you will have some memories.
Of
Of course, he
course.
obviously.
did play for Milan. Jens Peter Haag
Yeah.
played over there, played in Serie A with
he
Milan.
was he was
अरे
fantastic
ये नहीं,
against Man City.
ये नहीं वो number 10
I know, I
left
know. I'm
footed.
pulling up his striker because even he's in form. Like both similar
He's
sounding
in form.
names, but both
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
playing well. So yeah,
Yeah, and Param, you know what to expect from Bodo. They'll play that
yeah,
attacking brand of football. They will come right at you. They'll not allow Inter to settle down. और ये इनके conditions है. ये
yeah,
बोडो हर week in week out ये conditions में खेलती है synthetic turf में. इंटर के लिए
yeah,
बहुत बड़ा challenge रहेगा. And you can't sit back against them. अगर आप sit back करोगे तो they will come, they will score. As simple as
mm,
that. You have to take the game to them. That's the only way that yeah. But having said that, I think Inter are good in that transition play. I think they can absorb that pressure and quickly break away. And एक swift counter attack में उन लोग गोल मार सकती है. जिस तरीके से इंटर सेटअप करती है, like the likes of Lautaro dropping deep, the likes of Marcus Thuram with his pace, Boni with his pace, and the full backs getting involved. Luis Enrique defensively suspect, but attacking wise, I think he's a good option. Demarco has been in excellent form. He's just laying assists after assists to all the other Inter players. So I think it's going to be a good game here. I mean, I wish I could. This was a is this a 115 game or 130 game? Yeah, I wish this was a
yeah.
11-15 game. मजा आता देखने के लिए.
Yeah, what I'll say is, एक तो first चीज अगर look Bodo Glimt को have been watching them for a while. It's a great story as you said. They actually do not talk about winning or losing. उनका एक process रहता है which they like to follow, which is essentially enjoying the moment, building on the process, which has happened from coach to coach. Their current coach Ketil Letson again is continuing that. Again, as you said, Jens Peter Hauge, obviously Milan आया था. There were high hopes. Maybe had he come in the modern era, Chintan bhai, things would have been better for him. Obviously, not the right time also for him to
No,
be at
no, no, no.
Milan.
क्या मॉडर्न ही रहा. Allegri इसको खिलाता ही नहीं था.
नहीं, वो भी है, but at least the modern Milan would have probably been a better place to be overall. Like,
फोनसेका के अंडर शायद खेलता था वो, but Allegri के अंडर no chance he plays.
again, look, probably not. That's like typical Allegri. But then again, I feel it's just a better place to be. Like he was at the wrong time for sure, in my opinion.
100%.
He was too young back then. Like he was too young. Like, but again, fantastic player. He scored a belter against Man City. They're in great form.
This
Look,
season he's been good. Yeah, this season he's been so good.
yeah, and the funny thing is, अगर लोग उनके results देखेंगे, look, people need to realize their season is not even on. The Elite Serie A is currently yet to resume. They're actually only playing the Champions League games and friendlies to keep themselves fit. And they're actually, as from what I was reading, last 2 days they were only chilling in Spain in Marbella. So they were on the beaches chilling and whatnot and training. So they're back to. So funnily enough, जो snow से आते थे वो दूर करके वो लोग sunny beaches में chill कर रहे थे. And they're back here to play in their home turf. So they've not played any league games. So they're fresh. They've only played their friendlies and Champions League games. Nothing else. No injury concerns whatsoever. And I know synthetic pitch का बहुत बड़ा point है, but again Inter also actually, so what Inter did is Inter trained the whole day yesterday on a synthetic turf in Appiano Gentile, so in the training center to kind of get used to it. So that is there. Obviously both teams, as I said, are coming off winning form. It's only the 2-2. Look again, Ajay bhai, you said it. Like look at the big results: 2-2 draw to Dortmund, beating Man City. That game was iconic, Chintan bhai. If you caught it, like 2 cents you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do, like fantastic game. Like it could have been worse actually. 4-1 भी
I
हो
was
सकता था.
just going to say, for Man
Yeah.
City game, they should have scored more towards the end. It was fantastic to watch. And last thing I expected was Atletico के सामने भी जीत जाएंगे. And they pulled a bunny out of the hat, मतलब literally nowhere they gone. Listen, like I think सबसे first experience बोडो क्लिम का मिलान कोई हुआ था because we faced them first, and the reason why we went for Hauge is because how well he played in that game against us, and
Yeah, yeah,
it was so, as Ajay bola, they know only one way how to play. They did that at San Siro. Like they didn't
yeah,
know how any other way to play, and it was very entertaining to watch them play. Club के जो values है, ethos भी वही है, and I loved this game. मैंने ये पूरा at least second half तो I switched on to this because this was such an interesting game. हम लोग किधर बाहर थे? I think we were out. I don't know. I think परम तुम
oh, so we had
लाइव स्ट्रीम
just
पे था, लाइव स्ट्रीम पे था.
we
yeah,
just
live
finished our
station.
stream with Daksh Bhai at that time before
Yes, yes,
International,
yes,
and we
yes,
were
yes.
having a post-stream conversation with Daksh, and I told like we were talking and talking, and I got two updates on my phone. Like he, obviously Hog, obviously the striker, he scored like back to back, and we tuned into the game, Chintan. But that's when we
या मेरे को याद है परम था मेरे साथ किधर बिकॉज ये एक
yeah
बात का इसका मेरे को वन then two हो गया and then even Duck said we need to watch and immediately I switched it on and that game was super entertaining and two different देखो दो different profiles के सामने खेले Atletico Madrid and Man City and they got the result done so no by no means it's going to be easy for Inter but again I
got
have
it.
a counterpoint for Param that yeah they haven't played they must not know injury concerns but then again इंटर की टीम पूरी रेडी है इन द सेंस दैट द बॉडी इज वार्म्ड अप दे आर यूज्ड टू सर्टेन थिंग्स दिस टेक्स दैट ट्रांजिशन टेक्स टाइम स्पेशली in weather conditions like those you need time to switch on practice is different match scenario is completely different and you know you in a Champions League round of 32 one mistake here and there and can cost you the tie so I to feel that Inter of course played a very intense game recently they came out positive but Bodo Glimt might be a little more lackluster. Match sharpness missing होगा मुझे लगता है because Atletico game was a while back and जैसे तू बोला स्पेन में chill कर रहे हैं so it's going to be very difficult because they also need to adjust themselves.
Yeah, fair. Like, look, if we get into predicted lineups and all, I mean, अगर mostly बोलूँ Inter side of things, Sommer will obviously play in goal. There is no surprise there. Lineup prediction में जब there is a massive rotation predicted. They've not specified what exactly, but from what I know, De Vrij, Darmian and I think Carlos Augusto are expected to start as the back three. Possible again, could change, or Darmian could play as a wing back. Depends again. Left wing back pe bhi they are going to see where to play exactly Carlos Augusto. Right wing back pe Diouf will play. It seems like Fratesi was going to play, but मेरे को लगता है उसको बोडो ग्लिम्ट सुन के ही उसको सर्दी खांसी हो गई फीवर हो गया तो he's out of the game. Hakan came back from his injury against UA, played 20 minutes. He's injured again, so I think it's about time we have those conversations. Maybe summer we might have to cash in on him if these injury concerns continue. Barella is there, but I think Zielinski is expected to start with Sucic, so there's going to be rotation there as well. Striker, mein they're saying either Pio Esposito and Bonni or one of Lautaro or one of Thuram to be paired with one of the younger strikers. So अभी तक कंफर्म नहीं है बट बहुत रोटेशन प्लान है बिकॉज आपको रोटेट करना है एक तो यू हैव टू you also have Lecce after that. Obviously, Di Francesco is waiting. He's waiting there.
Di Francesco, who's won last 2 out of 2 games, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to take that into account, and that's definitely there. I think again Bodo Glimt. We spoke of Jens Petter Hauge, the striker as well. He's very lethal, by the way. He likes to make very random runs into the box, and that is where Inter's defense usually struggles against runners. So that is one area you have to keep an eye on. Many Interists are like इतना ज़्यादा rotation करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है because their attack is very potent. Another player you have to keep an eye out is for Berg because he's been at Bodo Glimt for like 7-8 years now. Like he's been there for He was there even when Milan played. Milan played Bodo Glimt, right? He was like he's been there forever. He's like a proper leader, so he dictates the play very well. Again, their keeper, Russian keeper, he's also been there for 7-8 years. So it's a very Chindan, it's a very
reminds me of Vanaken from Club Brugge. They've been this club symbols for a very long time.
Exactly. These guys, look, they have a very good mix. As I said, no absentees. Inter don't have Dumfries yet. They won't have Hakan and Fratesi, so that is there. I think again, look, synthetic turf pe last time we played was against Young Boys 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and we struggled. Like that game, we just scraped through, scored a goal at the death. बट अगेन कीवू से मेरा एक पॉजिटिव रहता है कि उसको स्क्वाड रोटेट करना आता है सो दैट्स व्हाई आई ट्रस्ट हिम प्रेडिक्शंस क्या लगता है आपको अजय आप लोग कमेंट्स में बताओ क्या बोलते हैं
तू स्टार्ट तेरा क्लब है तू स्टार्ट कर
2 legs I think we are going through with all like again I think this will be very tricky. And मेरे को बार-बार पूछो, would you have picked Benfica or Bodo Glimt? I will as the tougher team Bodo Glimt, not Benfica. Again, as if you watch these two clubs, the tougher team is Bodo Glimt, not Benfica. Even if
ये
Benfica
तेरा
made that
पोर्टो ये तेरा ये तेरा पोर्टो बायस बोल रहा है और कुछ
नहीं यार, बट कम अच्छी इवन यू लाइक इवन इफ द बीट रियल मैड्रिड वी नो यार बेंफिका बहुत ससेप्टेबल है यार. लाइक I would have actually been more comfortable against Benfica. Like honestly, like I wanted वो Mourinho face off तो चाहिए ही था मुझे एक. But yeah, Bodo Glimt is tougher here. Like I think this will be like a 2-1 Inter win and over the two legs. I don't know the score, but we'll go through. क्या बोलते हो चिंतन में?
yeah I think this yeah I think Inter winning a both मेरे को लगा Inter दोनों legs जीत लेगा just because
Okay.
I'm worried about that match sharpness, but Inter going through was never a question for me. But I think Inter will stamp their authority. They are calm in Champions League, and Inter are a decent team regardless of what they've not beaten a big team, of course, before UA. But I feel Inter are going to go through.
Fair. Ajay bhai?
I think even if Inter draw this game, it won't be a bad result. But I think at home, Inter will smash Bodo. Overall, two legs, obviously Inter go through. On the night, it could be like a very topsy-turvy game, in my opinion, because I think Bodo will come out of the blocks. I think वो Inter को थोड़ा एक shock लगेगा because you know ऐसे teams generally खेलती नहीं. Man City also got a shock. Atletico also got a shock. I think Bodo will come with that confidence. And they
Fucking
will fly.
I hope these UA did beat Bodo Glimt at Asmira. Yeah, UA did win. It was
That was very shocking in my opinion. But I think even they had a 90th minute goal by Jonathan David. Like
yeah,
they
9-3 to win.
right, yeah, right at the death, you know. So Bodo का वही है यार, they create a lot of chances, a lot of high XGs, but it really depends on the night whether they can convert all their chances. But
Fair.
if typically they play, I can see them scoring a couple of goals, but their defense also leaks. So I think Inter will also score. But जैसा ही ये match हुए topsy-turvy, at home, I think Inter should comfortably sweep Bodo aside.
Fair.
Ajay,
Also,
Ash is on the comment.
oh yeah,
And
Ash
Ash
is
bhai,
there.
what's up?
Ash,
I'll,
what's up?
if I can pull up his comment because I've
I
shared
just
this.
pull it up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, see, yeah, that's what we discussed, right? Ki they have not played, but they know how to manage these moments. यार. That's where I think जो चिंतन में जो अजय भाई ने बोला, it's so correct, right? When you don't really at times think about winning or losing, you just go with the process, just enjoy every moment. You just tend to manage these moments so much better, and that is with these teams. This is what makes the difference, ना कि वो लोग just process से जाते, just take one game at a time. They don't care who they face. भाई कल Wanda Chindan, you know how difficult it is to win a Champions League match at the Wanda Metropole. Cholo Simeone knockout में तो उधर हारता ही नहीं है. I know this again was a league phase, but still, like, it's not that easy. And they just went and won there. Like, yeah, so I agree. But yeah, I want to just see what people are saying prediction wise. I just saw like Bodo 2-1 Inter. Obviously, Milan fan है तो predict करेगा ही. 3-0 Inter says Calcio Genoa. That's too much in my opinion. 2-1 Bodo. And yeah, those are the only predictions I have seen so far. अगर आपके है तो बताना. Bodo is dangerous. They counter with insane intensity. Agreed. Yeah, they are a tough side. I agree. Just let me see any few more comments. Otherwise, we'll move to the Europa League and conference and just wrap it up very quickly. Milan legend Jens Peter Hauger. Yeah, Atletico did lose. Yeah, I think those. I'll come to the rest of the comments. Ajay bhai, Chindan bhai, Bologna. Finally, एक और game जीत गए. मतलब
It is
Italian.
team.
Yeah, but they've been terrible. Chintan, मैं आपसे चालू करता हूँ. They've been awful. They've been awful in 2026. Like एकदम से वो पूरा हवा निकल गया बोलोनिया का. And
भाई अजय परम from not losing games at home, now they're losing to Cremonese at home, dude. Like
Yes.
come back to that.
yeah, I mean they just beat Torino away, but as you said,
but
apart from that,
it was the scary part was how easy Milan found that to beat Bologna away, which was very scary because Bologna are a very difficult team to break down. You saw that last season because that was a turning point जब उन्होंने last late gasp winner मारा था against Inter only. Probably that is when it turned because it's such a tough team to break down. And oh my God, the misses. भाई वो ऑर्सोलिनी का पूरा वीडियो बन सकता है मिसेस पे. कितने चांसेस.
catalog of misses. I agree.
Unbelievable. But again, यार, very difficult phase for Bologna because they are losing a lot of steam in the league and finally they जीते वो लोग, but it's not looking good for them at all.
Yeah,
But
and I want
sometimes
to ask both of you a question. I want to ask both of you a question because when we did the mega preview in the beginning of the season, I look Bologna, Chindan Map Jante, they're known for smart recruitment, Sartori, Italiano, smart process. But I always questioned what they were doing in the summer because it felt
Yeah.
like a force laga. Ciro Immobile, Bernardeschi, just because Bernardeschi probably through his agent wanted that Italy call up, तो लोग ने उसको ले लिया. And I understand पैसा नहीं है Bologna जैसे क्लब के पास, but like Ciro Immobile is out. He's at Paris FC now. He's not even there. Like वो चला गया. Oh, he's gone. Bernardeschi is injured. And it just felt 2% Lucy. They let Emil Home go to UA, which is good on UA's part, but they just randomly took Joao Mario in the process. They let Giovanni Fabian, one of their better players, go to their rivals Fiorentina or battling relegation.
that was the most surprising. How can you
Yeah,
let Fabian go? Like,
exactly. So I'm like, well, it's so much confusion. Are you surprised in that sense, Ajay bhai, कि ये जो दिख रहा था, maybe a bit of the signs were there कि overall into the season, they might not really hit the gears like they did last season.
That was always going to be there, Param, but itna unka fall off hoga, I didn't expect it. Like I didn't think that they will fall off so badly that they would be like, you know, where they are in the Serie A table. I probably feel कि वो शायद Como वाला जो spot रहेगा, they would be battling with Como. But
Yeah.
right now, तो they are like what, ninth table, like in and about near Lazio. It's just very disappointing. And yeah, in Europe as well now they have 2 extra games. तो ये तो उनको असर आने ही वाला है इनके ऊपर. देखते कैसा होता है. I mean, it's going to be it's not a tough. It's not an easy game rather, and
Yeah.
especially going away first. So I think they need a positive
Oh,
result there
actually, so
to.
so the first leg actually happened. Like I also forgot to point that out. Like if I'm not wrong, or was this the yeah?
कब
This was
हुआ?
the sorry the group game. This was the group game.
ये तो
Correct.
ग्रुप
Correct.
गेम था.
Yeah,
हाँ.
correct. 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 This was the group game. My bad.
देख
My
ना,
bad. Because this,
ग्रुप में भी लोग
yeah,
हरा
no,
नहीं
no.
पाए
I
उनको.
I remembered they played the group game, and that is why I made that prediction that they'll
मैं
get
वही
knocked out
बोला
by
कि
Bayern.
उन लोग हरा भी नहीं पाए उनको. तो
Yeah, that's what
बहुत
I.
बहुत it's going to be difficult for Bologna, and considering the form that they're in, uh, I could easily see them getting knocked out. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, before I come to predictions, Chindan bhai, like there is a possible path. Like if Bologna do win and if Roma are there, they could face. We could have an all-Italian clash, possibly. We don't know. But again, I agree with both of you. Like it's been just so disappointing. Like वो previous clash भी हुआ था उसमें भी जैसे आपने बोला like nil-nil. It was very disappointing from Bologna. Like it just the performances have been just so mediocre. Like this win against Torino they had was the first since November. Like the other than the Hellas win was like their only second win since November. Sorry, just so horrible. Like I look at the form. Like Lazio से Coppa Italia में बाहर हो गए चिंतन भाई. I know the in the comments we've got a comment saying they're knockout specialists, but didn't happen against Lazio. Lost to Parma. Chintan, as you said, that Milan game. Personally, I had an AC Milan win like as a genuine prediction, but as you said, you guys blew them away. Like y'all destroyed them essentially. Like that is how it went down. I don't know. Like मेरे को तो मेरा prediction पे अगर मैं आऊँ, I think they're getting knocked out by Bran over two. Like I told this to Ajay as well the other day. क्या बोलते हो चिंतन भाई?
अरे मेरे को भी लग रहा है यार. मेरे को तो I don't have any hopes from them, to be very honest. Like terrible यार. मतलब when they look like यार पहली बात तो चिरो इमोबिले को लाने का सोचता कौन है? And Bernardeschi, चलो चिरो इमोबिले is still thing. Bernardeschi has just been on social media. मतलब I मतलब it is terrible. And by the way, even जो the worrying part about them is the disjointedness they have right now when the way they are playing. And I saw the highlights. I didn't see the game, of course, that victory, but ऐसा कुछ ज़्यादा convincing भी नहीं लगा कि वो लोग जीत गए थे. So I have no hopes from them. Trust me. Even same here. I hope they go through. Oh, this was an entertaining game though.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I remember you watched this game and Ajay also.
भाई
They
मतलब
were
ओर्सिनी को ना पाप लगेगा. मतलब भाई
कैसे
वो
कैसे उन लोग, how can you not defeat the Celtic team यार?
yeah, it's terrible. The Celtic team is
10 men.
bad.
10 men.
भाई अजय सेकेंड हाफ में वो लोग पार्क द बस फॉरगेट दैट ओर्सोलिनी सब ऑन हुआ था आया था उसके
हाँ.
बाद इतने सेल्फिश शॉट्स लाइक इट वाज वेरी शॉकिंग टू सी दैट इन द 80th 90th minute what is he doing and not that मिलान के बाद even against Parma terrible misses अजय he should be crucified for those misses. He's been single-handed responsible for not converting chances right now for them.
Yeah.
And he's their big man.
Yeah.
And Ajay bhai, क्या ये game में like 2 sets में each because I remember me and Chintan bhai were watching this. We were chatting on the group, and Chintan bhai is right. You can't be even if okay ठीक है उनका red card बाद में like technically yeah they conceded after the red card which is just
Yeah.
yeah to this Celtic, you don't concede to a 10-man Celtic. अगर आप जानते हो ये Celtic का सीजन कितना खराब है, it's basically worse than Ajax.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah, yeah.
I mean terrible. Like, Ajay bhai, just 2 cents. Like, because if this is the Bologna that shows up, there is a reason I don't have confidence in them. Because if a 10-man Celtic can fucking score and hold on to a lead, I don't know.
Yeah, man. मतलब मेरे को भी confidence नहीं आ रहा है the way that Bologna have been playing. Like you mentioned, struggling win against Torino over the weekend. उसके पहले Hellas Verona, not the glamour teams you want to beat along the way. I know Castro is picking up a bit of form, but
Yeah,
like I mentioned, I won't be surprised if they get knocked out to Bran. I
yeah.
really won't. It's a very close tie. It could go either way, 50-50 है. I don't see
और
Bologna as clear favorites.
फेयर एंड एक चीज बोलना चाहूंगा ना, ये इटालियनो को एक्चुअली एक सेकंड सीजन सिंड्रोम थोड़ा होता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स समथिंग
Oh
समथिंग बैड
yes.
बैड, बट उसका चिंतन में आप नोटिस करो ना, एक ड्रॉप ऑफ होता है हमेशा. बिकॉज ना once he's figured out, he does lack like a plan B. Like he does not have that second way of playing कि हाँ मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. And I'll tell you I think one big difference. This is not tactics, but personnel wise, Ravalia, their goalkeeper Chidar, is fantastic for making double saves, triple saves. Ever since Skorupski's been back, he's just benched him, and Skorupski has started making errors after coming
और
from injury.
अरे भाई, उस की सेल्टिक के सामने उसका ही तो एरर था.
Yes, yes. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, why are you playing this guy? With all due respect, I know he's a leader, he's a senior figure, but this guy Ravalia has been your best keeper. He's been one of your best players. Why bench him? Like this is just utter stupidity. Like आपका एक तो ऑलरेडी आउट ऑफ फॉर्म हो आप, और ऊपर से आप आपके टॉप 2 प्लेयर्स को बिठा रहे हो बेंच पे सीधा. Like I don't know. I think Italiano has kind of lost the plot a bit as well. Like one
And
question
even
before we close, I want to ask you guys, both of you, because in the news I saw in the Calcio community, some people again like maybe overreaction. Some people are saying at the end of the season he should be gone, which I don't agree with. I think थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. क्या बोलते हो आप लोग? चिंतन में क्या बोलते हो first?
yeah, a team like Bologna probably they are a little bit more recency bias and result oriented. So I won't be oh yeah, dreadful season, but love the jersey. Yeah, so yeah, depends on where they finish.
Yeah,
I think top 10, no European football should be a difficult task for Bologna, I feel, which looks likely that होने वाला है, because let's be honest, Como looks like they're going to seal it more than Bologna. I wouldn't be surprised if he's sacked, but yeah, it's harsh, man. It should be harsh, but depends on, yeah, if he makes a deep run into a Europa League, then probably no, but that I don't see it happening, and I don't see them finish top 8. पर मुझे तो बहुत difficult लग रहा है. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's sacked. यार मतलब it is very result oriented. Param, they want result today, and they will not see the bigger picture. So I won't be
I agree.
surprised.
Fair point. I'm with you on this. I don't think you can just Bologna ने एक foundation बनाया and there will always be ups and downs. I fully agree with you. I think you can't let him. अर्चिंदर में अच्छे कोचेस नहीं मिलता ऐसा आसानी से. आपने देखा है knee jerk decisions. अजय भाई, आपके thoughts? Do you agree with चिंतन भाई?
Yeah, I think so. But if I had to see Italiano go somewhere, I wish he goes to England there. I think he'll do well over there in that league.
Wow. Wow. That's an interesting choice. Shivam is there. Obviously, he's there with his usual dig, banter, and whatnot. By the way, he's doing a great job at zero ball knowledge with obviously Chintan Man. Ajay bhai went there. I think the full show is yet to drop, right? The podcast you guys.
Yeah.
The podcast is ready to drop.
But good.
बहुत ही
This,
बहुत ही बढ़िया सा podcast है चिंतन.
yeah.
मेरे को एक I saw some tweet top 50 strikers in this generation, and in the podcast Param we have spoken about strikers, like you know the evolution of the classic number 9s, and I think Chintan we have covered 65 to 70% of those 50 names. We have covered all of them. We've spoken about all those strikers.
It's good fun, Param, to talk to Baba about this, and of course, people.
Yeah.
And then you have someone like Shivam over there. Great.
And you can't believe, मैं chat को यही कहना चाहूँ, the way that Shivam conducted some of the games, which will be, you know, eventually you will see them in the reels. Super fun. Like, क्या amazing concept.
Fun. Yeah, great job.
Trivia and quizzing, everything all in one. Like, it was a complete package. मजा आएगा.
Yeah.
I can't wait for those reels to come.
And it might sound like we are all in love with Shivam, but like it was such a great time we had over there. And of course, very ironical when you talk about Baba and Shivam and the show is called Zero Ball Knowledge. Of course, there's a reason for that, but
very ironic.
That's a very smart knowledge.
with Baba and Shivam probably अपने country के two guys who have the most ball knowledge, I think probably, and of course the third
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
sitting with us, Ajay bhai. मतलब of course, so
Hi, you also have Param bhai.
अरे हाँ, परम भाई तो
नहीं,
लिथुआनियन लीग भी कवर कर
look,
लेगा.
I'm just waiting for that episode. What I want to
भाई
say
hang over.
about yeah, थोड़ा lag होगा. What I wanted to say, I saw the episode with Costume as well. Fantastic discussion. Just so straightforward, to the point, mature, covering actual topics instead of just you know diluted topics. That's why I like the show, because there is actual talk, there is constructive discussions, and that's why I'm waiting for that episode as well.
And
Abhishek
and
UA का discussion.
this is one thing we discussed, which we all came to a common consensus to. बहुत
ऑब्वियसली शिवम को अभी वो सदमा पड़ा है लास्ट सीजन का, थोड़ा रिकवर नहीं हो पा रहा. बट ये अभिषेक एक्चुअली हो गया यूए का डिस्कशन पूरा. वी
Yeah,
स्पेंड
we started
25-30
off
मिनट्स टॉकिंग.
we
या
started off
25-30
with UEL.
मिनट्स तो एग्जैक्टली. और बीच में भी लाइनअप्स आउट थे, तो आपको थोड़ा रिवाइंड करके देखना पड़ेगा.
भाई ये
We discussed-
लाजियो का क्या न्यूज़ है? क्या वो कतारी
अरे यार,
ownership
ये
को-
देवराज स्पैम कर रहा है. रुक, लाजियो का बार बार न्यूज आ रही है कि ये अपना सऊदी टेक ओवर होने वाला है. देख देवराज, एक चीज बोलता हूँ, इट इज नॉट
कुछ नहीं होगा.
वो ना न्यूज में आते रहता है. तू लोटीटो को देखना चिंतन में, वो कभी क्लब को बेचने नहीं वाला. वो फैंस को फोन पे गाली देता है. वो बोलता है मैं जो चाहता हूँ क्लब के साथ वो मैं करूंगा. दैट इज हाउ ही टॉक्स टू द फैंस. चिंतन
मैं भी चाहता हूँ कि लॉटीटो ही रहे. वही होना चाहिए.
भाई मैं तो ये सपने देख के पीआईएफ न्यूकासल के पहले मिलान पे इन्वेस्ट करने वाली थी. वो न्यूकासल खरीद भी लिया, न्यूकासल चैंपियंस लीग खेल भी रही है, लेकिन मिलान उधर की उधर पड़ी है. सो फर्स्ट ऑल टू बाय अ क्लब इन इटली इज नॉट इजी. लॉट ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेटिक थिंग्स इन्वॉल्व व्हिच वी कांट गेट इनटू ऑफ कोर्स. बट ये यार, ये तो नॉट एनी टाइम. एंड प्लस ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि आज न्यूज़ आ महीने में आ गए. एंड प्लस टू डील विद ब्यूरोक्रेटिक कंट्री के अंदर लीडर लाइक लॉटीटो, बाप रे, इम्पॉसिबल यार.
अग्रीड. ऑल्सो ये तुम जो बता रहे हो, विच इज नॉट अ रॉन्ग पॉइंट. एनवाईएसी वो न्यूज एनवाईएसी पे ना न्यूयॉर्क स्टॉक एक्सचेंज पे बहुत टाइम से चल रहा है. लाजियाली पे वो लोग क्या सोर्स दे रहे हैं वो भी देखो. बिकॉज बोलने के, अगेन आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट कांट हैपन, बट बोलने के लिए ना इटली में, जैसे चिंतन मैंने बोला, होते रहता है. PIF was supposed to take over Inter or AC Milan, which Amanda Stavely publicly said. They were even supposed to take over Bordeaux and save them from their demise. They were supposed to take over Fiorentina. They were supposed to take over XYZ club. They were supposed to take over Roma. Roma का तो चिंतन में सबसे बड़ा फनी चीज वो था. Fabrizio Romano hyped that Saudi Roma link, and then साला perfume launch था which. I'm sorry Ajay, what the fuck was that? It was so hilarious.
Who thought it was otherwise?
No, it was not. I was not thinking of a takeover.
Yeah.
But the masses were misled. They thought कुछ financial injection आ रहा है. वो साला
Romano,
perfume.
You know when it comes from that guy's handle, don't trust anything.
He confirmed that he's Fabrizio. भाई perfume launch, और उस चिंतन में उस perfume brand के ना Twitter पे कितने followers थे, guess करो. Just take a wild guess. Just take a guess. 20,256 followers.
Perfume brand का. अरे तो clearly that brand paid Romano to hype it up. He did it, and people went for a ride. I'm like, bhai, how can you believe? Like I thought it's going to be like that jersey sponsor or something. Riyadh, whatever.
Yeah.
वही lines पे. It's not about a takeover, man.
I felt so bad for Ajay. I'm like, मुझे तो पता था कुछ major नहीं होने वाला है. But it got so many Romanisti excited.
मेरे को तुझे bad feel करने जरूरत है. I didn't expect anything. By the way, with my first $1 billion, I will purchase Roma. That's the only thing that's going to happen.
वो तो होने वाला है. वो तो होने वाला है. Once you become once you become India's biggest content creator, that is bound to happen anyways. आएगा. Ajay Menon and Ambani's takeover AS Roma in a partnership deal. Stadio Mukesh, Stadio Olimpico Ambani आने.
अरे स्टाडियो धीरोभाई अंबानी क्या बोल रहे तू? I'll tell my good friend मुकेश, बड़ा मोटा भाई, प्लीज थोड़ा साथ में अपन
स्टाडियो मलाड चाहिए. स्टाडियो मलाड.
We'll have all Chintan, we'll have all Gujarati desserts outside Rome.
Oh, yes.
But all that aside,
या वो एक बार ले मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, because I think I told this to Ajay once, Param. भाई साहब, I went for, of course, Lola. I went for so many music festivals, and a lot of kids, Param, have been telling me that they are Milan fans, or someone saying we have a soft spot for Milan. I like Real Madrid, but I have a big soft spot for Milan. Like that. So भाई हाँ है, हम लोग सिर्फ 30+ दिख रहे हैं क्योंकि हम लोग काफी टाइम से अभी मिलान कर नहीं रहा है, तो वो लोग सब फैंस अभी दबे हुए बिकॉज दे डोंट से मच. बट या, एंड आई टोल्ड Ajay this, I'm telling you, Param, I've everywhere I go, I only see Milan jerseys. Then when I go, of course, my office is
Yeah.
next to me to my college. You see at least two guys wearing a Milan jersey daily. They might not like the club in the fan, like main fan, but everyone tells me, oh, I like Real Madrid and Milan. I like Barca and Milan. So, है तो हरी fans तो है.
Yeah, definitely. See, I think like even as you said, like we've been surprised to know कि हमें किस type के comments आते, like you know, like one I remember this one comment that will always stay with me. Someone from Jamshedpur saying in one of our videos that there's a whole proper community of Calcio fans in Jamshedpur, which I was glad to know because there is a growing Indian
जाना
football
पड़ेगा
culture.
भाई, जाना पड़ेगा
हाँ,
वहाँ पे.
like I know, like there is a growing very hardcore Indian football culture there, and I'm just glad to know there is a whole separate community probably just waiting to know. But Ajay, on that note, I remember I saw an account once of a Lazio fan from the 90s from Jamshedpur. So another
By the way, Param, another thing is अभी हम लोग ने वो कैल्सियो टूर्नामेंट खेला था अजय के साथ. That time we had a 15-year-old Milan fan, Ajay. Param, 15. You
yeah,
remember?
I know about this. I know about
He
this.
came
Yeah,
with 15-year-old Milan fan, and he said that I became a fan.
yeah,
And of course, one more friend of ours, he's a fan because of Ronaldinho, and he said that अगर मैं एक सीजन पहले फुटबॉल देखता, बारसा fan होता शायद. But then I saw Barca, Ronaldinho at Milan, and then I saw the Milan history. Then I fell in love with Milan. So you need Param one incident like Ajay के साथ भी वही हुआ. I think he started following when Roma were defending champions.
Yeah.
And then once you commit to it, we commit to it.
या ये क्या है भाई, कोई अलग पांडे बोल रहा है, कोई अंबानी, क्या कंपैरिजन है भाई. आई थिंक even अलग पांडे comparison is more fair than this. Like what is this
That
comparison?
is so absolutely fair, man. You are calcio वाला.
या एक चीज मैं शिवम का क्वेश्चन लूंगा चिंतन भाई के लिए. मेरे को एक सेकंड कुछ बोलना है बिफोर वी क्लोज दिस थिंग. मैंने कमेंट्स देखे एंड आई चोज थोड़ा बाद के लिए इसको रिप्लाई करो. बास्टोरी स्पैम कर रहे लोग. लाइक यू नो आई आल्सो हैव 2 सेंट्स टू से. बहुत मतलब बोल दिया. एक चीज बोलूंगा यार ना, फुटबॉल ना 1-2 साल पहले नहीं चालू हुआ, ठीक है. फुटबॉल ना बहुत साल पहले चालू हुआ है. Recency bias is a very strong phenomenon. Okay, let me say this. Recency bias is a very strong phenomenon where people only watch a couple of instances and talk about it for like a whole year or maybe a few months. Simple logic. I think Ajay bhai agrees with this, and Chintan bhai, it's up to your interpretation. Last season, you give us the 3 points we were robbed against Lazio. You give us the 3 points robbed when Juan Jesus was playing basketball on the pitch. We are the Scudetto winners. Okay. I will stick by this because that's the truth. That's the reality. And last season, what Chiellini threw a fit, which is correct. Absolutely, I agree with Chiellini. This is what Beppe Marotta did publicly. People disappeared then. So my point is ना, जब आप देखते हो ना, 2 मैचेस नहीं देखने चाहिए. रिसर्च करो. लिटरली नॉट इवन अ होल ईयर. यू आर गोइंग 8 months बैक. इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. गूगल है, ट्विटर है, बहुत सारे रिसोर्सेज है. Go back to Napoli 3-1 Inter from this season when Giovanni Di Lorenzo decided to dive. You remember that incident, right, guys? Give us those 3, whatever draw bhi ho, give us that 1 point, give us that 3 points. My point is, I think obviously jo humne discuss kiya, I want to put an end to this. Bastoni should have got a red card. I fully agree with this. The Kalulu red card should have been changed to a Bastoni red. यार ये सब 20 टीम के साथ होता है. That doesn't make it that's not me trying to say कि Juventus के साथ गलत नहीं हुआ. Juventus के साथ absolutely गलत हुआ. But ये सबके साथ हो रहा है. Milan have been wrong, Roma have been wrong, everybody has been wrong. So when you make evaluations ना, actual matches देख के करो, ठीक है. This is just out there, no argument or anything. This is just out there कि जब आप evaluate करते हो ना, actual matches देख के करो, instead of reels, instead of like 30-second clips. Just go out and watch the match. Simple as that. And I think that's where I should close, because what Bastoni. So today there was news, Chintan bhai, ki Bastoni will come out and speak, and he's already spoken. Maybe people can go and watch after the stream, because intentionally chose to be in the pre-match press conference today. He's replied, if you want to see, I can pull it up, but it's he's admitted to his mistake that I exaggerated the dive. Essentially, he's admitted to it. He said that Liverpool ke against jo hua, he didn't see the outrage for that, which is a fair point. We got dropped 3 points. We'll again not 3 points, maybe 1 point or whatever. We could have been in the top 8 with that 1 point. Who knows? Point is, again, when you watch, please go and watch with context and not without context. Simple as that. Context. Again, Conte has been throwing a fit for the last. Vergara के बारे में सब भूल गए. वर्गारा ने क्या बोला जेनोआ के बाद? उसने बोला I chose to dive.
एक हफ्ते पहले, by the way, 1 week.
एक हफ्ते पहले. He said, Chintan bhai, he said, I dived looking for a penalty and the referee gave me a penalty. I dove and I took my chances and I got a penalty. He's admitting on public camera. I played it smart. Sorry, Roma Napoli, you saw Chintan bhai. What did Miguel Gutierrez do? वेस्ली ऐसा उसको मुंह पे इधर टच किया, वो गया भाई जैसे कि उसको 2-3 गोलियां पड़ी है बॉर्डर पे किसी आर्मी के साथ लड़ते हुए, मतलब.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah, sorry.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah. See, these things will always exist as controversy between fan bases. Look, ये तो रहता ही है, वो हम लोग ट्रोल करते रहते हैं मरोटा लीग, वो तो मैं भी I have bought into that joke. I was like one of my fan club members has a t-shirt, Marotta League t-shirt, Inter fans by the way. Thanks to Uncle Sharma, he made that merch out of as a joke. So point is, ये तो रहता है भाई. Like ऐसा था तो we should have got those 6 points from last season which I just spoke about, which we were robbed of, and we should have won the league. Na? Again, the point is there.
As a Milan fan, I'm totally enjoying this because this is.
You can enjoy. Look, I'm putting fair points. What I think is Juventus did the right thing by attacking the referees. I think that's fair because they got robbed. Second thing, what I'll say is, again, Bastoni ko attack kiya gaya, which is fair, criticized, but they've gone after his wife and daughter, abuses, death threats for Bastoni himself. Is that justified? You tell me.
ये तो I think unfortunate part is Serie A. I think you've seen this over the period of time, over the years, players missing penalties and players missing important things, and they've got. I still remember the Inter UVE का भी जो match हुआ था, जो रोनाल्डो वाला जो penalty मिला था UVE को, I think 2098, 99,
98.
उसमें also the referee had to go underground because of course that match eventually decided. So unfortunate है यार ये. And the brilliant book which Ajay has given me, it is what Parag, it is the beautiful part about this whole thing is it is a recency bias. शायद कल Bastoni अच्छा perform कर ले भूलेगा. I don't agree that he should not be called up for national. Someone.
Yeah, I wanted to come to that. Like, just let me ask for both of you as more. Y'all are Azzurri fans. I'm not an Azzurri fan. For those who don't know, I'm a France fan. Okay, for both of you, people are saying उसको drop कर दो इस behavior से. But Cannavaro, a UEL legend, has said that's bullshit. Totti has said that's bullshit. What do you guys think?
Yeah. But what is this rubbish? There's no connection. Why should you not be called up? ऐसा क्या भाई? You have to qualify. Italy has not been a part of the last two World Cups. There is no two ways. You cannot not call up Bastoni. Dude, intercore is needed for this national team. It is important. So there are no two ways about it. Yes, उसके पहले ऐसा कितनी बार हुआ है? Players have fought like Totti and Nesta and gone for the national team with hands on each other's shoulders and won the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I want to say,
Bastoni ko udhar, they are going to sing that national anthem with same passion, with arms around each other. That is the beauty of Serie A over. Like, I'll just give you a small example. We all know that there was a goated generation of England in the mid 2000s, right? The Gerrard, the Lampard, the Scholes did not get along because Rio Ferdinand खुद बोला है कि international game में there were camps, Liverpool camp, Chelsea camp, and they didn't end up working out. This has never been a problem for Italy, which should not be a problem, and this is just blown out of proportion. It is an agenda-based thing, and I also, Bastoni is young. A reaction like this, मेरे को भी यार, I would be very happy if one of the good players gets sent off and I'm going to win the game. It's a very natural reaction. Today, every player is going to look for a foul. Every player is going to look for another player to get sent off. कितना भी हर्ट करा है, अगर आज की तारीख में माल्डीनी, ज़नेटी, टॉटी खेलते तो वो लोग भी वही करते because if you don't do it, your team is losing. Are you ready to take that? So it is completely fair what happened in the game, but Juventus fans are right to be angry.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you, Para, many Inter fans are also saying that he's wrong.
Yeah,
that's it. So it ends.
And one thing
the battle should be closed, yaar.
Closed, exactly. It's over.
Like rubber band खींच रहे.
No, that's why I brought this up. That's why I brought this up. I think me and DJ were very.
just to move on, don't play the underdog gimmick, Rhythm. You guys are favorites to win. क्या underdog gimmick play कर रहे हैं? Dortmund को तोड़ के आओगे तुम लोग.
You have honest Ahano there. He's the most. I don't know.
Drew is also on the chat.
Nice
Drew,
to have you.
What's up? Inter cruising. Drew, I am supporting Inter through and through, at least till the finals, because we want.
Obviously, you need a deep run.
No, and
This
plus
is
plus जो कल
complete योगेश
जो
का डायलॉग ले रहे तू.
भाई कम जो ना भाई और आई एम ग्रीडी ना हो जाए जो नापोली को गिफ्ट मिला वो साल मुझे ये गिफ्ट चाहिए बट या वी हैव टू मैच अप बट या थैंक यू ध्रुव फॉर बीइंग हियर थैंक यू फॉर द कमेंट प्लीज सो बट या आई फील व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज ट्रू जैसे अजय अरे यार ये तो इतने इतने सालों से हम लोग ने डार्बीज एंड बिग मैचेस देखे हुए हैं
Yeah, yeah,
ये होता है यू मूव ऑन nothing but I was very
yeah,
happy to see on Sunday how Param and DJ both were on their own point
yeah,
upset about it but
yeah,
maintaining such a good decorum because this is what football is about. Param as an individual, DJ as an individual different but and you
yeah.
could see how visibly upset DJ was
Yeah, yeah.
and
And just to clarify for people who don't know, me and DJ were had very polarizing views, and we still do probably. We'll never agree on this. I'm not. This is not me not agreeing on the. Like, again, I think UA obviously were wrong. ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा, but I think the whole Bastoni thing is where we completely disagree in terms of how these being treated. You know, again. Sorry, Chintan, I continue. So yeah, just wanted to add that.
So yeah, my point is that that is the beauty of football, right, Ajay? And me and Ajay can be here. Of course, unfortunately, हमारी team involved नहीं है इसके अंदर. Yes, Shivam, I totally agree. Thank God Ajay bhai exists because हमारी
ये
team नहीं है तो
बाय द वे ये एक और पॉइंट है जब अटलांटा डॉग डॉटमंड आउट ना यू एनीवन लिविंग इन कोलकाता गो एंड फाइंड रीतम विल गिव यू अ ट्रीट यू टेक अ ट्रीट फ्रॉम हिम ensure he
Eden,
spends his money.
the treat is the ticket for the India game at Eden Gardens. Khatam, sorted.
हाँ ले लो ये अंडरडॉग टीम
Khatam,
ये कर रहा है.
game over. But Nick, so I just wanted to cap this off with one quote. Go read Chiellini's autobiography. You don't have to read it. You just have to find the excerpt. What has he said? No, sorry, I have to bring this up. He said on the pitch.
हो गया
नहीं,
opposite side
हो गया,
discuss
last
किया.
last. That's why I said na capping off. On the pitch, his autobiography says this. On the pitch, I am a bitch, is what he says. I will try I'll try anything to
He's
gain
not
an
much
advantage.
of a writer, is he?
Yeah, he's good at poems, I guess. So he said, I rather love ways in where I can get advantage and try to up my opponent. And there's nothing wrong with that, as Chintan Bhai said. Anyone would have tried this.
सबसे बड़ा one of the big reasons, of course, English fans are yelling at us is because of that amazing Chiellini foul on Saka.
On Saka, and you have to respect him for that. That was great, right?
Respecting नहीं भाई मैं तो उसको जाके जादू की जप्पी दे दूंगा. That is a tactical foul. That is what a defender needs to do. He is not doing anything illegal and he got penalized for it. उसमें कुछ खराब नहीं है. Param, Ajay, just people now watch a game from a very small microscope and think that football is only played in certain ways, which is not the case.
Yeah. Look,
But
last thing.
Sorry, अभी परम तू last thing नहीं बोलेगा. Last thing मैं बोलूंगा अभी. And before end the topic, अजय को भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है that Morata League है.
Look, I'm going to buy that merch very soon because I love these kind of playful things. Uncle Sharma के channel पे ले लूंगा, मैं खरीदूंगा वो, just to piss some people off. But all that aside, guys, last couple of predictions before we all go to watch the Gala UA game. Because I know Como Milan है during it. एक तो Serie A का मेरे को दिमाग समझ में like Bodo Glimt Inter के time we have Milan Como as well. Just fantastic schedule.
We played in Australia.
क्या?
ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाला फिक्चर था ना वो.
Yes, it's Australia, but still यार like कुछ scheduling का कुछ होता है ना, sense बनता है, right? Fiorentina, I want to get that out of the way. They'll be playing Jagiellonia, the Polish team. मेरा prediction है Fiorentina out in this round. क्या बोलते हो आप लोग?
I think they'll struggle, but I think they should go through. यार, come on.
No, मुझे मेरे को तो बहुत पता नहीं क्यों इतना faith है Fiorentina पे. तो starting से बोल रहा हूँ यार. I think they'll go through. मुझे लग रहा है Fiorentina will manage to.
I think they'll struggle, but they should go through. Yeah, even I feel.
Fair. We'll come to Milan Como जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में होने वाला था, चिंतन भाई, जो I think could have also been played that game where you had no game only because if you could have pulled the Pisa game ahead, maybe on track होता, आपको भी फालतू का midweek खेलने नहीं पड़ता, आपको भी बराबर रेस्ट मिलता वो गेम में. I think
बीच में 10 दिन का रेस्ट दे दिया था. I don't know why. Rubbish.
Yeah, it was weird. Like that's what I was saying. You could have pulled the Pisa game ahead.
Before Chintan says anything, I'm going to tell you, 35% possession Milan. XG will be 0.25. Como will have the rest of the ball. XG of 3.5. Milan 1, Como nil.
And Fabregas in the post-game conference he will say we deserve to win because we made 2,400 passes. That's my
correct. And compared to Allegri ka 200 passes.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw the Como Ultras held a banner mocking Allegri.
Yeah.
We are in new times where Como Ultras have also, which is new to me because they said what was that Chindan? What did they mock him with exactly?
rather than spending one day at Allegri, we'll have some days with
हाँ हाँ
Fabregas.
समथिंग लाइक दैट बट दिस इज चिंतन मैं आपसे स्टार्ट करता हूँ प्रेडिक्शन पे बिकॉज ये लाइक मतलब एक नया बीफ ही चालू हो गया है लाइक मे बी दिस आई फील कुड ग्रो आई डोंट नो एक नया बीफ चालू हो गया मिलान और कोमो का थैंक्स टू फैब्रिकास बिकॉज ही लव्स टू पिक अ फाइट विद एवरीवन क्या प्रेडिक्शन है क्या जस्ट टू थॉट्स ऑन दिस रैंडम
जो जो फैब्रिकास चालू कर दिया है द वे ही प्लेज फुटबॉल एंड देयर शुड बी लाइक मतलब उसका जो वे आफ्टर द इंटर लॉस आई थिंक ही सेड दैट आई वुड स्टिल प्ले दिस I'll continue playing my way only, and of course that is completely against the ethos of Max Allegri. So उधर ही एक बहुत बड़ा beef है between two different school of thoughts. यार I think Milan play well against team that attack. Of course जो sit back करती है वो problem होता है. San Siro, Rabiot is a huge loss again. रेफरी का डिसीजन उधर भी आया था रैबियो को सेकंड येलो कार्ड मिला भी कैसे मुझे अभी भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. How did मतलब what the hell was that उसका और बाद में of course like there are 2-3 things which happened so I am very surprised without I think people praise you have to give it to Luka Modric man what a goal what a finish that was but without Rabiot Milan will struggle I hope Jashari goes through but I have a very strong feeling Milan are going to win this game मुझे लग रहा है मिलान ये निकाल देंगे.
Wow. अजय भाई आप पे आता हूँ and just because I'll give my
Milan win this. I'm telling you.
Serious prediction था. Yeah. Just again, Morata did what Morata got his red card before. Yeah. Like मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है क्या कर क्या रहा है कोमा मतलब कुछ भी करता है. He's that memeable version of him has come out unfortunately. Like he just came on for like a few minutes. He did some random shit and he got sent off. Like I
would be surprised.
Did you guys hear Nima's rant about Barca?
Fabregas.
I loved it.
The chipmunks part, that was so funny, dude. I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, we will happen, and I think it is going to happen. But yeah, I'm more confident against a Como than a Pisa, like because
but against Pisa, look the way Allegri plays Chintan, I think you should be confident. In terms of form, you've not lost since that Cremonese game. You're on a 24-game unbeaten run.
Yeah.
So Ajay's prediction is a Milan win. I think I'll also go for. Look again, we know Rabiot is not there. Morata, Diao is injured. So look at the form also. Like Como are actually fully out of form. Like they lost. I saw the game against Fiorentina. भाई वो same ही चीज हुआ. Yeah, like वो लोग करते क्या अपना जो भी करना है Fabregas को करना था. Nothing wrong with it. But Fiorentina too. मुझे मजा क्या पता है? Fagioli scored the most मटका goal possible.
क्या मटका गोल था यार वो. क्या मतलब
मुझे वही
कैसे भी करके कुछ तो किया उसे और बॉल उसके पैर पे आ गया उसने फिनिश
मुझे वही मटका गोल इट्स लाइक फैब्रिकास को सबसे बड़ा स्लैप ऑन द फेस मिल रहा था अगेन नथिंग अगेंस्ट हिम बट इट वाज जस्ट लाइक ही वाज गेटिंग अ रियलिटी चेक बढ़िया
वो है ना वो जो साइड बाय साइड है कि फैब्रिकास कोचिंग एंड पैटर्न्स एंड एवरीथिंग एंड एक साइड में मटका
हां oh yeah no but I think I agree you guys let us know in the comments below I think Milan will win. I think Milan will continue their winning run. Like this is not jinx at all. I think Milan just have that perfect system to kind of overthrow a Como the way they played. Just to we saw it in the away leg also, Chintan. How you all were efficient. Is what did Nima say in his first? What did Nima say in his first? Milan won because they deserve to win. Simple. Like what can you cry about otherwise? This is what is happening. I think so yeah, Milan 2-2 Como, one penalty. Zidane says 1-1 draw. Milan is getting a second star this season. Wow, optimism is again. Look, the race is far from over. Here comparison again. Both podcasts are good. Shivam says Milan 2-1 Como. Fair. Fiorentina to go through. Any last thoughts, guys, before we wrap this up? Because Galatasaray versus UA is about to start. Any thoughts?
I would want Italian teams to of course do well for the coefficients and all. सब लोग जाओ फाइनल्स तक और फाइनल्स में रुक जाना जो भी टीम जा रही है.
चिंतन भाई is like सब लोग बर्नआउट करो मेरे को बस कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ता है. मैं जा रहा हूँ और लीग जीतना है मेरे को.
But I
very excited to see how Napoli play in the Champions League. Oh wait.
Oh man, oh wait. But yeah, seriously, I really feel like लास्ट ईयर यार 2 डच टीम्स ने मिलान और यूवे को निकाल दिया था, बहुत बड़ा झटका लग गया था। बट येस, आई थिंक दिस टाइम I think Italian teams should do well. I hope they do well because it is important. यार world needs to see more Italian teams. अभी देखो इंटर की सब लोग बात कर रहे हैं because Inter had 2 finals. They beat Bayern and the likes of Barca. So of course we need that. We need Roma also to go as deep as possible because Roma for me are one of top 3 favorites for the Europa League title.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
place. So फ्लोरेंटीना तो है कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग फाइनल तक तो आ ही जाएगी और बाद में हार जाएगी, तो उनका तो वो फिक्स्ड है. So like, but yeah, I feel they do. It will give them a lot of because I want Fiorentina to stay up also. So will give them a lot of confidence. I hope they go well, but goes deep. But again, Serie A है भाई. Italian football is an amazing circus. कुछ भी हो सकता है. बोडो ग्लिम भी इंटर को निकाल सकती है. So anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Chintan bhai, quickly आपको आंसर करना है like just because there's a question for you.
100%. There's no option but Jashari should start this game. It is a like-to-like replacement for me. Jashari is very skillful. We saw his passing range also in a few games which we have seen him. This is a no-brainer. This starts and this just shows that Milan are set up well. Hey, Shivam ka question, I think we forgot about it. That what should Milan do for?
Yes, I was coming.
Yeah, but then again, I think Shivam, I think Milan, what they need to, I think Milan's midfield is pretty set. Starting 11 types midfield. But I feel they will RLC types निकल जाएंगे. What I like what Milan have done is काफी slowly कचरा निकाला है उन्होंने. Tomori looks different under Allegri, so I think they are going to go for centre backs. Mike Mignon sealed हो चुका है. So I feel again Pulisic लिया तो है. So I feel एक striker आएगा, but I think Milan don't need to do much. But yeah, the midfield looks fantastic. Allegri of course needs to find a way of, because guys सबको पता है this way works in Serie A. This won't work in European games. He needs to make certain changes. But I think Milan are right. I'm very happy, and if Luka Modric stays, nothing like it. But a Rabiot, Ippi, Jashari, if you ask me, are 3 such quality midfielders. I think any Serie A team would want him. Probably they are one of the best midfielders in the league, as in talent-wise. They would fit in any of the Serie A teams, I feel.
अश्विन ऑब्वियसली चिंतन भाई तो पूरा जिंक्स प्रो मैक्स आंसर आएगा भाई. उसे
मिलान चांसेस. अरे अबे अजय, तू मेरे को बता सच्ची कब से मैं बोल रहा हूँ फेवरेट्स कौन है टाइटल के लिए भाई. आई एम भाई फेवरेट्स है. तू भाई अप्रैल तक देख लेना 10 पॉइंट से जीतने वाले वो लोग. दे विल रैप इट अप लास्ट.
मेरा पता नहीं, बट चिंतन मेरा तो प्रूफ है. मैंने हर एक स्टार्ट ऑफ द सीजन के पहले मैंने बोला इंटर विल विन द
हाँ मैं भी. एंड प्लस मैं बोल रहा हूँ लास्ट से जो मिस्टेक उन्होंने किया, slip up हुए थे because Champions League के latter end. What they're going to do is this time they're going to wrap up the league by April so that full focus on the Champions League.
Last question अभी भाई.
वो तो नहीं होगा but I think that it'll go close, but I still feel Inter would be favorites to win.
Would you consider selling Pulisic for 90 million? यार भाई anytime. अभी मिलान ऐसी टीम,
Serie A टीम्स को अगर ऐसे प्राइस टैग तो बेच देंगे हम लोग यार.
But I would prefer to sell the other winger first. But I would prefer to sell that other winger
for भाई वो तो पूरा वो तो.
But then I know with this management what they did pretty well is getting Jashari Richie for a good price. If we, of course we have then Santi Jimenez types money spend करे Nkunku पे, but if we do get a 90 million, I think Milan will do well to reinvest that money. Hey भाई मैं नहीं, परम तू बता, अजय तू बता, 90 million I think you literally will sell every player of yours.
एक दो प्लेयर को छोड़ के हाँ यार, लाइक एक दो प्लेयर को एक्सेप्शन करके यस, लाइक 90 million is too much money यार. लाइक
मैं तो थोड़ा बड़ा बॉक्स भी डाल दूंगा उसमें कि लेके जाओ भाई 90 million plus some बड़ा बॉक्स from my end.
By the way, last one closing guys, Ajay bhai and Chintan bhai went for the Italy Nepal cricket match and luckily Italy won. Then Italy are out, but any 2 cents on that fight against England? Yeah, what a game that was.
Amazing. By the way, they were 9 for 2, I think, and we saw the Mosca brothers opening and doing so well. Had they probably, मेरे को लगा pull off कर लेती. What a fight, and we saw something very different. It was very refreshing, and in a sea of Nepal fans, we were the few
Azuri fans.
Azuri fans. It was an amazing experience, and by the way, I do agree. A lot of people have been talking out of all the associate nations. After Afghanistan, जो टीम देखी है, जो मुझे लगता है अच्छा फाइट करेगी, no bias, like leaving my bias aside, Italy team should be playing more cricket.
Yeah, Italy looks good here. Like मजा आ गया आज
And,
यार।
भाई एंड परम यूएस जैसा नहीं है कि सब इंडियंस भरे हुए हैं भाई,
Yeah,
मतलब यार
exactly.
so it is a pretty refreshing. And by the way param, what people didn't see what we saw, Ajay bata, the fitness levels
Yeah,
fantastic, yeah, the
yeah,
fielding,
yeah.
the cover up, because of course there are a few nuances in cricket which of course the cricket playing nation would know. Very well done yaar by Italy, amazing to see.
very
Yeah,
very
yeah.
organized and very intelligent, I would say. बहुत ही समझदारी से लोग अपना गेम खेलती है. But कॉस्टुम ने एक बढ़िया ट्वीट बोला, when people were tweeting that we should have more cricket in Italy, and भाई पहले फुटबॉल वर्ल्ड कप तो क्वालिफाई करे पहले तो भाई,
हुआ है
क्रिकेट
अगले,
बाद में
yeah,
प्लीज.
yeah.
पर
We need to remember अगले महीने है भाई वो। अगले महीने।
I don't give a fuck if Italy don't play cricket for the next 10 years. I want Italy to be in the 2026 World Cup by hook or crook.
नो, आई थिंक व्हाट पीपल आर इंसिनुएटिंग इज कि अगर इटली मिस कर दे तो क्रिकेट आपका नया स्पोर्ट बन सकता है, और क्या।
नहीं चाहिए भाई, पागल है क्या? हम लोग अपना दुकान बंद थोड़ी करेंगे.
No, but all that aside, यार अगले महीने ही है, and hopefully we can do a watch along for that because that will be peak like Italy was.
By
तो
the
मजा
way,
आएगा।
Gala had a long range shot, not
Yeah,
coupling Di Gregorio, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
interesting start over there.
yeah. I think we'll. Any closing thoughts, guys? Any closing thoughts? We'll close this stream because obviously the match has begun. So anything you guys want to say on a closing note?
Nothing, why, let's do this Serie A teams, let's get it to the next round.
Yeah, it looks like McKennie is only playing as false nine.
Yeah,
ऐसे लग रहा है
yeah,
कि I won't even say false nine because I just saw that he is like the most advanced UA player. False nine or drop होता है. He's playing as a nine only, it feels like.
yeah.
But yeah, थोड़ा सा ना मेरे को परम, I feel that Galatasaray have started, like I've just been watching for the last how many five कितना मिनट हुआ है, 6 मिनट हुआ है, but it looks like Gala have had a better start. Like they have a set piece, like a free kick right now, but not from a very threatening range. But you never know. Like they've started on the front foot.
Fair. We'll continue to watch this game. I think please do tune in, guys. ये तो सोनी पे ही है, अगर आपके पास सब्सक्रिप्शन है। आपके पास नहीं है तो ज्वाइन आवर व्हाट्सएप कम्युनिटी, लिंक्स तो चलते रहते हैं उधर भाई। प्लीज डू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू कैल्चो चर्चा। प्लीज डू फॉलो चिंतन भाई ऑन इंस्टाग्राम, ही इज आल्सो पुटिंग अप रील्स, और कंटेंट आता रहेगा। Please do follow and subscribe to Ajay Bhai's channel. Obviously, he's going to drop more content very soon. And again, please do subscribe to Calcio Churcha. Spread the word कि भाई Italian football community है, जहाँ पर भी हमारा नाम बोल सकते हो जाके। अगर आप इटली के क्रिकेट मैचेस में जा रहे हो उधर जाके भी फैलाओ भाई। So thank you for all the support as always. Tune in to the UA game, tune in to the Atalanta game, tune in to any Italian football ka match. We'll see you guys very soon on another stream. Ciao ciao.
Ciao ciao.